home interactive weekly GeekCon, all blended with wit, sarcasm, and a pub-like atmosphere. We're adults talking about adult topics and using adult language. We laugh and make jokes about almost everything. We don't intend to upset, but some folks have their feelings hurt easily. This is all done in humor in the style of the great offenders such as George Carlin, Red Fox, Lenny Bruce, Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Wanda Sykes, Sam Kinison, George Lopez, Lisa Lampanelli, Chris Rock, and others. So grab your vice of choice, sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy yourself in the company of great people, hot toddies, and guests alike, because here we come.
Put that long day behind you. Good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, that'll bash a smile on your head. Come on in, the door's open. You'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and lend our stories your ear. 'Cause we're the talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk the tavern. Promising beer and bed love. The talk the tavern. Music, medicine, then some. The talk the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
And welcome to May 22nd episode of Talk of the Tavern, Tunesday, with Night Watch Paradox. And we'll get right to that in a moment. That's right, woo yourself. You did. So that's good. Oh, let me start with the introduction. So we'll start with the lovely, talented, delighted, and internet challenged Andrea. What's your vices today? Really, internet. Hold on a second. We'll wait for your internet to catch up with the rest of the world. There you go. Go.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Right now it's coffee. Mm-hmm. And later it will be a Java Mint cigar.
I'm curious how the Java Mint will be. Because mint in a cigar kind of...
It smells nice.
Does it? Okay. We'll see.
But it's a chocolatey coffee mint.
You know what? For the hour before the show, your internet worked fine. And now it's just like, no. And hello to Talking Toey, who has already joined us. Give me a second. I'm refreshing that page just to make sure we've got... There we are. Okay, it's us now. I was still watching Courtroom that we were hosting. Now, let me know your vices for the viewers watching, and let me come over here to our guests, which are... And I'm going to let you guys do a big intro for yourself, just so you know. But we have Andy and Ange of Night Watch Paradox. Tell us your vices, gentlemen, and let folks know who you are.
All right, my vice would be something metal with a big screw to hold piece of wood. No, a nice whiskey. Ooh. A nice whiskey. I've just discovered Blanton's, which is hard to come by. Hopefully tonight, though, it'll be a nice gin and tonic, because that's what I have in the house.
What kind of gin?
I have the cheap stuff right now. I'm working through, and I'm...
Let me suggest a nice, cheap gin that's not too floral, so it works well for gin and tonics or martinis. Try Amsterdam.
Okay.
It's only going to cost like less than $15 for a decent-sized bottle, and it's a decent gin for a good price.
Very good.
Okay, you were saying.
And my writing partner, Andy, who's also here, got me a lovely bottle of some locally made gin, which I will break out hopefully for our room party in Frederick coming up.
That's just in, what, a week or two, right?
No.
When is that taking place?
That would be for Key City Steampunk Festival in August 17th.
Oh, what am I? I'm thinking the one that just passed like a week or two ago then. It was on the 19th last weekend, right?
Yeah, correct. And we are going to play in Frederick coming Saturday. But that's just a gig.
That's what I was trying to get out of you. What are you doing? Where can they find you? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
I was subtly pimping you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. I want my cut. Andy, why don't you tell us what you've got, what your vices are, and what are you enjoying today?
All right. Well, first, in case anybody doesn't recognize me, if you've seen us on stage now, you recognize me. Today, my vice is the decadent unsweetened iced tea.
Oh my!
I'm living on the wild side. After the show, I may splurge and have some chocolate.
Dark or milk chocolate? What are we looking at here?
Probably dark chocolate.
Good choice. Now, are you going by percentage or just like Hershey's dark chocolate?
No, I like the good stuff.
So like
Hershey's is not really dark chocolate.
Not really, is
if I'm going to indulge, I want at least the 85%.
Good man.
But
Nice.
I guess that would be my vices today. I'm not. I've been cutting back on the drinking, so I usually enjoy a nice stout or dark amber or something like that.
I see we have similar taste in our vices. Yeah.
I haven't been doing that. Gin and tonic I've just recently discovered, so that will probably be my alcohol vice. Less calories, trying to watch my weight and
That's
fitness.
true. The nice thing about a gin and tonic is even if you're going like 1/3 gin as opposed to a half gin in there, there's still plenty of alcohol, so that one drink can last you 2 hours, and you're
Exactly.
good. And then,
Oh yeah.
I'm completely uninitiated to the various types of gin, so I'll just take whatever. I say gin and tonic, whatever, good enough for me.
well, if you're at a bar, if I can make the recommendation of tell them gin and tonic, not the rail gin.
Not the rail
Well,
gin.
you never want the bottom shelf anything, just in general.
True.
Unless you're, broke and an alcoholic, then absolutely go for the bottom shelf.
For those who have access to British-made gin,
Mm-hmm.
my sister is in York, and she found Slingsby, which is quite nice, and it comes in a beautiful blue bottle as well.
There is a brand of gin out there, which is a fairly decent one, called Brokers, and it comes with a little bowler hat on top of the bottle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it fits perfectly like on the 12-inch action figures or Barbies. It's just the right size for that. I'm just saying, not that I play with dolls, but yeah, I do. So there we go. That's what I like to
It's
tell
out
you.
now.
How you doing, doll? So, let's see. Oh, me, right? I'm Travis Sivart, your host, of course. Today I am partaking of various vices. A nice Vienna lager, Devil's Backbone, in my Green Lantern
Nice.
cup. Pint glass, whatever. It's all I have in the house is pint glasses, and they have different geeky things on it, from gaming to superheroes, etc. And I am smoking Autumn Evening, which is a wonderful maple-based aromatic tobacco in, oh my god, I'm going to need a Stanwell chimney and then a freehand Nording. So that's my vices today. And my cool new pipe tamper that looks, and I'm going to show it to both cameras. That's for the audience, and that's for you guys. A little pipe tamper. It looks like a pipe, and it's pretty.
Cool.
I'm easily entertained. I think that's my vices today. Toei, you still with us? You got any vices today, dear? Toei is another streamer who I knew in person before I was ever on Twitch, and she is a author. She's written comic books, tabletop role-playing games, as well as full-length novels. We did a card game together called Awkward Compliments. Very talented, very dry wit. So, no vices today. Working while you watch, you poor thing. Now, I'll call working vices.
Aw.
Here's to our vices, and working with them, not against them. Okay. So, we've got Night Watch Paradox. You know what? For those folks that don't know you guys, why don't you describe your music in 10 words or less?
Baltimore history turned inside out, with smatterings of anything from. No, I've gone more than 10 words.
You're a rule breaker. Go on, man.
Yeah, smatterings of folk, jazz, and klezmer and rock.
Klezmer. What is klezmer?
It would be
Kinda Jewish polka music, sort of.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
That's awesome. It's now, was that folk jazz or was that folk comma jazz?
They're all commas. Folk, comma, jazz, comma.
Making
Yeah.
sure, just making sure, because it's.
I mean,
Mhm.
Yeah, basically anything that you can imagine guitar, bass, drums, flute, harmonica, and cello can do with vocals.
Nice. That's a heck of a party, especially if you had a twister mat.
Every song sounds different.
I like
So,
it. And I have listened to your stuff, but I'm acting like I haven't, so you can describe it from nothing. And we will be playing some of the music very shortly here, about 5-10 minutes once we intro everybody. And you do it in a yes, Andrea?
And I did put their website in the chat, so
Yes.
if you would like to buy some of their music, go ahead. Or you can send them a message to buy some of the vinyl
Yeah, quick, pimp the
that he has
vinyl
in
there,
his
Andy.
basement.
oh yeah, so I will say that before, thank you for that plug. Before Ange and I before we started Night Watch Paradox in 2013, we were playing in an indie alt rock band called the Treading Lemmings, and so we our last project with the Treading Lemmings before things dissolved was a vinyl EP
Flotsam.
called Flotsam, and I think it's available on iTunes as a download, but I have about 200 of them in boxes in my basement. So if anybody would like some good independent original alt rock music,
There you
hit
go.
us up and we'll find a way to get that to you for name your price.
The price of postage.
That's right. It's a
It's
special
good
today
music,
only.
Yeah, good music, but it is when we started the Night Watch Paradox, we wanted to do something completely different. So this is, and now for something completely different.
So what is Flotsam like then? What kind of music is that?
What is, it's like I said, it's like indie alt rock.
Guitar driven,
Mhm.
indie alt rock with a nod to Brit pop.
Okay, nice. See, I love the blending of different genres, and this is why I ask people what they play, because it's so hard to nail things down in one genre nowadays. At least for the folks I know. So you guys played in both bands together, huh?
Yes.
Yes,
So you've been hanging out together for a while.
for a while.
Yep. It's been 2006. So I moved to Maryland from Oregon in 2006, and
No
was
dysentery.
looking for a band,
Mhm.
and saw an ad in Craigslist where they were looking for a second guitar player, and I got hooked up with the Treading Lemmings. I think Ange had been with them for quite a while before that, but I was the second guitar player, and then we played a lot of like classic alternative 80s alternative obscure cool songs that were obscure from the 80s, and then we started writing our own stuff, Ange and I, and then the Chris Quinn, who is the singer and lyricist. So the three of us wrote songs together, and then, like I said, in 2013, after we released the vinyl LP or EP, things kind of as they like to do in rock bands, fell apart.
Right.
Fizzled out.
Fizzled, yeah.
It happens, yeah.
We lost our steam, so then Andrews had a great idea to start something that was based on steam punk.
And that's how you shifted over in 2013.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So, Ange, tell him about how you came up with the idea. It was his idea to do something completely different.
well, I wanted to do something that was interactive.
Mm-hmm.
Steampunk was one of the ideas that was floated out there. I already had kind of an affinity to some of the literature and more so, I think, the pop culture aspect of it, like the movies and the TV shows.
Mhm.
And I said to Andy, what if we kind of took, well, someone sees Blue Man Group or sees Cirque du Soleil, they don't need to know the music in order to enjoy the show. So that I put that as kind of a rough goal for us. And we're still trying to get that even more refined to the point where you don't really need to know the songs.
Mhm.
So we definitely have a little bit of shtick involved with our live performances.
Understand, there have been other steampunk bands that have done that with tremendous success. So, I don't know if you want me to mention other names or not. I'm being polite.
Oh, sure. Why not?
Well, just to be clear,
Mm-hmm.
we are not putting on makeup
Mm-hmm.
and pretending to be robots.
See, and the thing about steampunk or Steam Powered Giraffe is
Which is fine.
I liked them well enough, but I never. It was with the outburst of anime culture in the U.S. when they came out. So the U.S. kids were looking for kind of an anime of their own, and Steam Powered Giraffe very much filled that role in a wonderful way with good positive messages. So there you go. They've got a great thing there. But you don't need to be a Chuck E. Cheese knockoff to be unique and interactive and everything. There's so many other ways to do it. So, yeah, in no way am I comparing, just saying, hey, they grabbed a shtick and ran with it and did great. And the same thing for you guys can work too is, it's almost like living the concept album when you have a steampunk band with characters and outfits and whatnot. You become the interactive experience.
Right. So, I mean, all due respect to Steam Powered Giraffe, I think originally they were one of the first steampunk groups that the two of us sort of said, "Oh, that's what that's what's out there. Let's take little bits of what they do and put our own twist on them." And Abney Park obviously was the big one. So, taking little pieces of what they did in terms of the backstory, characters, and sort of an overall concept, but then completely, we just took little ideas like, oh, okay, that's what you could do. Well, let's take it and run with it.
How many albums have you had? How many have you put out so far?
We when we first formed, we kind of within, I say 3 or 4 months, I'd say we just cut a very quick 5-song EP just to get some music out there. Sure. It was literally, we threw everyone in the studio, we played everything live, and that was it. And now we have our dual volume CD coming out at the end of the month. So this is really our first proper CD project.
Gotcha. Okay. So, and what a project it is. You have a double CD, and how many tracks total between the 2 CDs?
There's 16 audio songs, and then I don't recall how many actual little narration bits are in between.
43.
15 or so audio, or like dialogue / sketches.
Gotcha.
In between the 16 songs.
I tell you what, we're up to the point in time where I'd like to play one, and we're going to do 2 things in a row. One of the audio dialogues, and then a song. So do you want to talk about it before I play it, or after?
How about after?
Sound good? Okay. Now what we're going to do, gentlemen, is I'm going to mute so I don't actually talk over your music. Here's the deal. You're the artist. You want to talk over it? Start talking. I'll unmute and talk with you. But otherwise, we'll just listen to it as the viewers listen to it and roll through it. Okay?
Okay.
So all right. Here we go. And we're going to start with the dialogue of Meanwhile, Back in Baltimore, followed by Don't Lose Your Heads. So here we go.
Welcome back to the Nightwatch Paradox Adventure Hour. When last we heard from our heroes, they were recovering from hangovers and waiting for the healing properties of bromo salt to kick in. Now our story continues as we listen to Pirate Radio by The Clash.
I'm sorry, but those pirates are always trying to take things over. They seem to have disrupted our transmission. We are in the process of releasing Sir Hattenbury from his shackles. Your program should resume momentarily. Let's try that again from the top.
Welcome back to the Night Watch Paradox Adventure Hour. When last we heard from our heroes, they were recovering from their hangovers and waiting for the healing properties of bromo seltzer to kick in. Now, our story resumes later that week. After the captain had filled out the crew's roster with new recruits, the airship was ready to embark from their home port of Baltimore. When time travel pulls the crew away, an adventure takes them to far-off lands. This city is the place that anchors their reality and their sense of home. When they are sailing on the airship, the crew joins in to sing this shanty as a tribute to their home city.
Hands play guitar.
On the role of what I do despise. I am sworn to the Queen, and she gave me a commission to steal the privateer ship on a secret mission. She ordered me to use all of my gold, charm, and cunning. But even as a pirate, their clipper had us running.
Cowardly lot, those not killed in clear retreat, will clearly dance the hemp and jig. They'll lose their
Can't hear you yet.
Oh, I didn't press the button hard enough. I tell
There
you
we
what,
go.
I love the flute and the cello in that. It's who played those?
That's Kim Elishway is our flute, our flautist. She is the fairest flautist in the land. So she actually writes the arrangement for her own flute part. So we write the song, and then she does her thing. So that's all Kim. And the cello, our regular cellist is Danny Maynard. So she arranged the part for that. On this album, I don't think she actually played this song. Is that right, Ann?
I do not have the list. I should have had the list in front of me. So our regular cellist Danny has been nursing a chronic shoulder neck injury. So she played on what cuts she was able to, and she wrote out all the parts. And we had a couple other guest cellists who filled in for the rest.
Real quick, do you want to give a shout out to all the band, let people know who they are and what they do?
Sure. So we mentioned Kim Elishwe on flute, Danny Maynard on cello, Joe Weber on harmonica, Kaya Kismet, lead vocalist, Jeff Sasser on drums, Captain Hunt on bass, acoustic guitar and vocals, and myself, Ange, filling in the blanks. Did I leave anyone out?
I think that's it.
Okay.
If not, we can give them special attention later.
And our
special, so, being that we're not just a band, we're, there's a lot of visuals. So we have an art director who designed all of our artwork for all of our posters, all of the illustrated lyric book, which we can talk about later for the album, the album art. A very talented Carl Yonder, who is he illustrates graphic novels. He also does fine art, graphic arts. So if you want to put a shout out to him, it is carlyonder.com.
Very good, very good. And by the way,
he would be happy for your patronage for a variety of artwork. He's amazing.
Very good. We'll have to check them out. Andrea, did you get that?
Carl with a C.
There you go. I have a few questions about the song. First of all, what's the name of your airship? And it's an airship, right? Not an ocean-going vessel.
Correct.
So, for lack of a better term, it is Night Watch Paradox is the airship.
Very good.
It is a steam-powered airship that also has a time machine. So we are not only capable of flying through the air, but capable of transporting ourselves back and forth in time and space.
I like it. I tell you what, so you heard the theme music when we came in for the show. It's a selfish little thing of mine. That was done by Mark Rossmore of Escape the Clouds, which, by the way, also runs steampunkmusic.com. Okay, I always like to plug him because he has done so much for so many bands and people and whatnot. So I'm always happy to mention his name. So I hope you like him.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
As opposed to
Mark's been he's been very helpful. He got us listed as a steampunk band on his site, and I actually helped him with his last project and got a cool little shaker that was shaped like an airship. So that was worth it.
Very cool. Very cool. It's
so just can I say a note about the airship?
Yeah.
So this is my my vision of what, if I could draw, what the airship would look like. So for me, it was partially inspired by Jules Verne novel Robert the Conqueror.
Okay, haven't read that one.
If you have never read that, you must read that. It is about an airship called the Albatross, and it's an amazing book. So with that, there's in the crux of that story, there's an argument between the faction of people who believe that flight is only accomplished by lighter than air vessels, and that heavier than air vessels cannot fly. That is inherently incapable of flight if it is heavier than air. So this was a real debate that was going on in the 19th century, which Jules Verne wrote about. And so his airship that called the Albatross was like a secret ship that nobody knew about, and it went around and all the adventures. So for me, that was part of the airship inspiration. And then, of course, H.G. Wells' Time Machine. We have to have a time machine in there. And then in my mind, since we chose to use Baltimore as our central muse and theme rather than, like most steampunk groups, using London. Since we are from Baltimore-ish, Baltimore was known for the Baltimore Clipper ships. in the 19th century, which were the fastest sailing ships. So in my mind, you have a clipper ship that is equipped with steam-powered technology that allows it to fly and also travel through time.
Very cool. Very cool. By the way, Andrea just asked me a question here on our little back channel. And I wanted to thank you guys for the awesome video you sent saying you're getting toasted at Talk of the Tavern.
Cool. Our pleasure.
That is one I am bragging about. I don't have it in the refill video yet because I'm waiting to get enough to make a 5-minute video montage.
Oh, theirs is the one with the audience on stage.
That's right.
Oh, that was awesome.
It was. It's I'm like, that's how you do it. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah, you guys did an awesome job with that, and everybody will get to see that as soon as I get enough of them to put together into one 5-minute video. So it's now you guys are up in Baltimore. You ever go to Ren fairs?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen Pirates Royale when they were still together?
I may have seen them.
I was just wondering if they had any influence on
Yes,
what you're doing. Because they were the pirate era type musical band.
Yeah.
And they were great fun and whatnot. And your intro reminded me of one of their intros on one of their CDs. It was not exactly the same, not even close to the same, but it had elements that matched. Like, by the way, I noticed you mentioned the Hangovers in the intro audio. So you guys just really don't seem like the Hangover type of group. So good acting. And the Bromo Seltzer, I'm curious about that. Is that like with the like bros, like bromance, or is there something out there actually called Bromo Seltzer?
Yes.
Bromo Seltzer was an actual miracle cure invented in 1888 by Captain Emerson, who was from Baltimore. He invented this cure called Bromo Seltzer, which, by the way, had bromide as one of the secret ingredients, and it was extremely popular throughout up until the 70s, when it was discontinued because they found out that it had poisonous substances in it. But through the late 1800s, it was very popular. Bromo Seltzer and Captain Emerson were sort of groundbreaking in the use of marketing. Mm-hmm. So he had all kinds of marketing. They would sponsor Bromo Seltzer sheet music and things like that. So back in the days when people would sit at home and play their piano, they would buy a Bromo Seltzer music book that was full of all the popular music at the time. And then in the early 1900s, Captain Emerson commissioned a tower to be built in Baltimore based on a clock tower in Italy, which I can't remember the name of. And it's a giant clock tower in the center of Baltimore. If you've ever been to Baltimore, you will see a big tower that sometimes people call the Emerson Tower. But it when it was originally constructed, I think it's like 20 stories, 15 stories tall. It was the tallest building in Baltimore at the time. So there was a clock tower, and then on the top of the clock tower was a like 20-foot tall blue bottle, which is how he marketed Bromo Seltzer. It was in a little blue bottle. So the top was a blue bottle that was lit up, and then the clock numbers, instead of 1 through 12, actually spell out Bromo Seltzer.
That's clever.
That's
clever.
So Bromo Seltzer is kind of a part of Baltimore history. So part of the things that we do in our songs is sing about little elements of Baltimore history, but we put our own twist on it. So,
So does the clock tower still light up and have the blue bottle?
The blue bottle apparently was unsafe and was removed in the 20s or something like that. But the clock still works. As a matter of fact, we did a photo shoot inside the clock tower a few months ago, which was
if you haven't seen the picture on the screen right now.
I can't see that, but
what about you, Ange? Can you see the Twitch chat? Do you see your little ad? I put it back up for you guys.
I'm looking here.
If it looks like it's inside a clock tower, then that probably.
I think it is it.
Yeah, so that was inside the Bromo-Seltzer clock tower, which they just recently replaced the hands, the original hands, with some lighter weight, because apparently they were originally solid wood and they were like 20 feet long and weighed 500 pounds a piece or something like that. So they just refurbished the inside, but all the mechanisms are still working in original. It's an amazing clock, early turn of the century clock tower.
Nice. Ange, don't look too hard. It's the rotating ad in the upper right-hand corner. Right now it's got the disclaimer on there, and it rotates through, and yours comes up whatever the cycle is.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah. It'll come back around. I'll go, there it is, and you'll not see it again. So let's see here. I had a couple more questions, because that's when you see me writing during your songs, I'm like, oh, I want to ask about that and whatnot. It's
Sure.
So
more questions about the song.
Yeah. And thank you, Night Owl. Appreciate the bits. Okay. So in the dialogue. Yes, Andrea?
I have a question. I didn't know you had one.
Go ahead. I've got mine written down. I won't forget.
What is your favorite place you performed?
Well, there was a place that shall not be named.
Oh, no.
That was always fun to play.
Oh,
you know what? If it's what I'm thinking, it doesn't bother us. Because the bottom line is, if it's the event I'm thinking of, we're talking about the event here, not necessarily management.
Right.
Yeah,
The bottom line is the people who came out to see us were consistently awesome and appreciative. But that still will be one of my favorite places to play.
where would you like to play? What's one place you're like, we need to play here?
Well, speaking for myself, now we do the rock opera sometimes. Sometimes we just play music. But for the rock opera, I would like to find a theater somewhere where we can actually do a longer run. So in the past, we've kind of been relegated to like a fringe fest kind of thing where we don't have a whole lot of time for tech rehearsals and working through, lighting cues and that kind of thing. So it'd be nice to play a theater maybe for a 3-day run, with the full production.
So if any of you out there are theater producers,
there you
and
go.
you want
That's
amazing
that's what I was gonna say.
steampunk rock opera,
I wonder,
Well,
what about the Mason place in Alexandria, the Masonic Temple? That'd be a pretty place to play.
That would be cool. They have concerts there?
They have things there, but it's been a long time since I've been around, so I don't know what's going on with them now versus 20 years ago. Andrew, what were you going to say?
hopefully my internet will hold. For anybody that knows of a place or can give them a heads up, I'm putting all the information for you to contact and stalk our guests to let them know where they should play.
So in that opening dialogue, who played what character? Were you guys in that?
No,
we weren't. So let me put that dialogue in context a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that was actually the first song or first track on the second disc. So the first disc ends with sort of a cliffhanger, and then the second disc comes back with this. So part of our overall theme that you don't quite get from that clip, setting the stage a little bit, is that in this story we are privateers. We are not pirates.
Right.
There's a difference between pirates and privateers.
Boo.
So boo. So whenever you say pirates, people are supposed to boo.
Gotcha.
And then if we talk about the British, people hiss because they are our rivals. They are slippery snakes, so we hiss at them. So that track that opened up, it used the musical stinger to start off, and then it started off with a pirate who basically came out of nowhere. So he's
As they do.
Right, as they do. He just came out of nowhere, took over the show, and then that was actually my brother speaking that part. And then the nerdy technician who came in, that was played by Josh Taylor, who is the boyfriend and partner of our lead singer. And then the regular narrator, Sir Avery Hattenberry, was again played by my brother.
Gotcha. By the way, during the song, there's one line that says, taking on the role of what I despise, as he's going through his... I like that, in that it was character development within the song, and it gives a lot about that character in one single line. So,
yes.
Yeah, good character development there. As a writer, I went, ooh, nice, well done.
So the pirate in the middle of the song was also voiced by Josh Taylor, who did the nerdy technician. So he's got quite a range of vocal acting.
Very good, very good. It's if I can ever be of any help with that sort of thing, not the singing, but the talking, let me know. I'd be happy to. I've recorded for other steampunk, not so much bands as like steampunk web series and stuff like that. So, by the way, I'm looking behind you guys, and I have a question for each of you. And I think I'll start with Ange, because it might be shorter instead of Andy and his guitars behind him. But Ange, just behind you, over your shoulder, you have a piece of art.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit.
I just trip to England with my daughter.
Nice.
I was at Camden Lock Market in London, and I found this piece of art. And I was sitting down here going, I have this empty music stand. It needs something. So I just threw it on there. But I dig it. I think it's a Russian artist who did it.
Very nice. Yeah, that's
So
very nice. I like it.
So perhaps at some point when Nightwatch Paradox does some sort of other crowdfunding thing, that could be a perk. Who knows?
Absolutely. And when you do that, make sure you drop me a line, guys, and we'll get you back on and talk for a few minutes about what you're doing and let folks know every little bit, right?
Sure.
Now, what about you and your string of guitars back there?
Yeah, so you talked about vices earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I should have mentioned I have, I tend to buy guitars when I don't really need them. So I play left-handed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing to know about my guitar. So if I go into a music store, it's usually like three, if I'm lucky, three left-handed guitars that I can even play.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and usually cheap things that, like a Mexican knockoff Stratocaster and a cheap little Ibanez, whatever.
Mm-hmm. So
when I see a left-handed guitar that is a high quality that I don't have, I buy it. So I've got there we have my two Rickenbacker guitars and a Stratocaster.
nice.
And then if you go over here, I've got I don't know if you can see the little skinny red guitar.
Yeah, I'm curious about that one.
So that is it's a guitar by Eastwood, and it is called a 2x4. It's a Devo inspired guitar.
We were just talking about them last night.
Yeah, and then the one that's got the checker sticker on it's another Eastwood guitar that's a reissue. Their reissue of a was that Mossrite twin tone? I don't know. It's what they do is they reissue old guitar models that have been discontinued. So so I got that, and then the little tiny black thing is another Eastwood instrument that's a mandola.
Nice.
And then I've got my 12-string acoustic guitar, an electric or acoustic bass, and then I just got a banjo a couple months ago because I figured, why not learn something else that I haven't tried before? That's another one of my vices is trying to learn new instruments. So
you can play all those, huh?
I can. Then let's see. We look over here. There's our drum set, which I don't really play. That's our drummer's Jeff. And
there's
then there's my two of my acoustic guitars that are my regular guitar, and my bass, which is the main in the middle. That's my main instrument for Night Watch Paradox.
And a didgeridoo. Is that a didgeridoo?
It is.
That is didgeridoo, which, again, one of the things that I said I would learn how to play, and it's way harder to learn to play that than like this whole circular breathing thing is being. So
Travis has one of those.
I do, and I play it as well as you play yours.
my main goal was to be able to make a musical sound.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really been able to even do that. So,
have you had some coaching or watched some videos so you know the basics?
It came with a DVD, which I haven't looked at yet. So I figured that learning the banjo would be a little bit easier, because I don't have to learn circular breathing to play the banjo. But it's enough of a challenge because it's completely different voicing than guitar or bass. So
I have one buddy that plays flute. Various flutes as well as the didgeridoo, and he's just great. And he gave me, a short lesson, which is basically you want to create the seal around your mouth, which facial hair makes that harder. But then you pretty much go into it. Yeah. And that's all I know. Yeah, I'm done. And I know I don't sound like he does. Well, come on over. Anyhow, Ange, you say you have a gas problem too.
Yes, I do.
Gear acquisition syndrome for everyone.
Yes, gear acquisition syndrome. I've kind of, tamped it down temporarily. I think at some point I would love to get into getting a hurdy-gurdy.
Oh, yeah.
I just need to figure out if I can actually play it. And apparently good ones run $3,000 or $4,000. So perhaps one day.
I tell you what, let's pop into another song here. It's about that time. So we're going to go with The Harlot's House. Do you want to tell a little bit about this before or after?
Let's do before.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ange.
Okay, so this is one song where we did not write the lyrics. This is actually an Oscar Wilde poem.
Oh, nice.
That I saw the poem and I said, that would just make a really cool song. And of course, everyone needs to have at least one song in their repertoire that's about a house of ill repute, which is my interpretation of the poem. Now, maybe it's not the correct one, but that's what I got from it. Just put some music to it, and we've been playing it for a while, and we finally we did. This is one of the I think we did this on the first 5-song EP, Andy, but I think this version we've done it more justice.
Very good. Let's listen.
Joe West.
Then turning to my love, I said, the dead are dancing with the dead. The dust is swirling with the dust. But she heard the violin and left my side and entered in. Love passed into the house of lust. Then suddenly the tune went false. The dancers wearied of the waltz. The shadows ceased to wheel and whirl. And down the long and silent street, the dawn with silver sandaled feet crept like a frightened girl.
So there we go. I do like your lead vocalist there. Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
I want to give a big shout out to Kaya for. She's our lead vocalist, Kaya Kismet. She's been with us for about a year now, or a little over a year. We had a couple other vocalists in the time before that, but I just want to give her a shout out because I think one of the things that Kaya brings to our group is she's got great range, both vocal, high and low note sort of range, but more importantly is she is able to use different voices in each song. So as I say, each of our songs, this is a lot different than the last song you played. And when you play other songs, you'll hear. So she's really able to really sing in a voice that suits the song. So she can sort of be sweet and sad and sassy and rough and whatever. So I think she's just. We're really glad to have her part of the group.
Makes sense. I don't blame you. And
Kaya.
Yeah, she's awesome, and everyone in the group is awesome. It really was kind of kismet. We didn't particularly try to shape the group in any particular direction. We just, when Andy and I first started, we actually had at one point a violinist. We had a bass saxophone player at one point, and some other people who kind of came and went, and we weren't necessarily the right fit for them. But everyone who's settled in now is awesome, and we love them.
Good to hear. It's always nice when bands get along. So, and with that thought, let's take a quick break here, and we'll put up the refill video so we could go get some refills. Will you gentlemen stick with us for the second hour also?
Sure.
Excellent. In that case, hang out, everybody. Give us a couple minutes, and we'll be right back. So keep in mind, gentlemen, to mute the audio. Otherwise, we get to hear everything you're doing, but not see it. So we'll be back. Sit right back and relax, or get up and get a drink and refill what you have, while the cast and cohorts and co-hosts of Talk of the Tavern do the same. Now, here's the testimony of some of the great people we've had on Talk of the Tavern or previously on Sounds of Steam. Enjoy.
This is Gail Carragher, author of The Finishing School and the Custard Protocol series, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Aiden Sivart, Steampunk Indiana Jones.
Hey, this is Scott.
This is Samantha.
And we're Frenchie and the Punk.
I'm Karen Kay, also known as the Fairy Lady and editor of Fame magazine, and also founder of Fairy Events.
This is K.W. Jeter, author of Infernal Devices and Fiendish Schemes.
Kircher here. I play Bifur in the Hobbit trilogy, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Trevor Crafts, executive producer and creator of Lantern City.
This is Lord Bobbins of TeslaCon. Huzzah!
Steampunk Funk Bazaar here, Lord Monty right in front of your radio.
Hello, this is Professor Elemental. When I'm not taking a bath in gin or trying to invent a new kind of badger, I'm listening. Oh, yes.
This is Stephen Davis of Raising Steam UK, 2-day Steampunk Festival in Reading. Enjoy.
I'm Thomas Williford of Brute Force Studios, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Commander Bob of Victor Sierra.
Je suis la légendaire princesse convertie de Victor Sierra.
Hi, my name is Sarah from Valentine Wolf.
Hey, this is Braxton from Valentine Wolf.
This is Aileen the Peacemaker, the founding editor of Beyond Victoriana, the multicultural steampunk blog.
Hey, this is Joseph C.R. Vortek, otherwise known as Electro Swing Neo Vintage DJ Vortek, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern. I hope you come out of it in one piece. I'm not sure I did.
And don't forget about our other shows during the week. Tunesday, Middle Age Gamers on Wednesday, and Virtual International Pub VIP on Thursdays. Make sure you join us there, 1 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m.
Hi, my name is Ashley Rogers. I'm the organizer of the Copper Claw.
This is Calamity Dawn, mixologist of Airship Passepartout.
This is Commodore Lorpikar of Lost Saints Curiosities.
This is Jimmy Diggs of the Crypto Historians, reminding you that the future is in your hands.
This is Gabrielle Reel.
Hi, this is D. Clarence Snyder, writer of the Bright Future series, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Professor Marcus O'Bannon, the Chief Scientific Investigator for the Crypto Historians.
This is Lady Gatita of Nerdvana.
Hey, this is Angie Vello from Ghostfire.
This is Hannah Titania, Queen of the Fairies.
This is Jeff Platt of Highland Steamworks.
This is Danielle Ackley McPhail, co-author of Baba Ali and the Clockwork Gin, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern Radio.
Hi, this is John R. White, author of The Tales of the Airship Neverland.
This is Catherine Gleason, author of Anatomy of Steampunk, The Fashion of Victorian Futurism.
This is opera singer Katie Cat.
This is Keith Prusak of Bad September.
This is Captain James Barrington of the Mighty Claxton.
This is Emily Leverett, and I'm the editor of Big Bad and Anthology of Evil, Volumes 1 and 2, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
Hola Radio Escuchas, les habla Lady Smoke de Sociedad de Steampunk Argentina y Sindicato Dieselpunk.
This is Melanie Grace with Live Steamy.
We are Warren and Betsy Talbot of MarriedWithLuggage.com.
This is Christopher Meeker, author of Hawthorne, Chronicles the Brass Hand.
This is Mickey Wonderland, Steampunk Fairy Princess of Wonderland with a fresh cup of Mad Hatter tea.
Hi, this is Margaret McGraw, author of the prompt writing blog WritersSpark.com, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
Hello, this is Mishkin from Bird Eats Baby.
This is Nim Derringer of Airship Hypatia.
This is Painless Parker.
This is Persephone Burroughs Dimebagger, co-captain of the Airship Hypatia.
This is Psyche of Psyche Corporation.
Ahoy, me darling.
Okay, we're going to cut that off short because we're all back and ready to go. So, welcome to the second hour, and I have another question here. I got a whole list of them. So, let's see here. Who's your guys' favorite steampunk band?
Well, I have a couple.
Mm-hmm.
I love This Way to the Egress.
Great people, too.
Eli August is awesome. Positronic Cats are more than a couple. Positronic Cats are awesome people. And not necessarily steampunk, but we're going to be playing on Saturday with Wanderlight.
Nice.
They're a wonderful band as well.
Very good. I haven't actually heard of them, so that's awesome. Good to get the name out. You were saying?
I would say This Way to the Egress, even though I think maybe they don't really think of themselves as a steampunk band, but steampunk people seem to like them, and I think they're great. Frenchie and the Punk, definitely.
Oh, I forgot French. Sorry, Scott and Samantha.
And the local ones that Ange also named. But I think for me, I would say if I had to name a top favorite steampunk band, it would be the band that puts the punk in steam, and that would be the Men Who Won't Be Blamed for Nothing.
They're awesome.
From
Good.
London.
Good, yeah, they are good.
That's really not a fair question.
They're black. So those are the ones I would say off the top of my head. But.
I mean, we could talk about like bands that, might have like attitude problems that we don't particularly appreciate. but there's so many musical groups out there that are in the steampunk, not genre, but that play the circuit that are just great, and they're all so different.
Yeah, which is nice because you don't hear the same thing by different people. You hear this variety that's just incredible, and it's the way I when I play like the music shows. It's I first go with the people I like best, and second, the talented ones, because I always encourage people to support the bands that are good people. So that makes a difference for me, at least. But yeah, all the ones you named, very good bands. Andrea, I saw you raise your hand. Did you have a...
I was going to say, have they heard of Victor and the Bully?
Yep.
Yes.
There's another one. They're fun couple of guys, and
they'll be on this month also. That's why I bring them up.
Awesome.
Next Thursday, 31st, yeah, and I think they're releasing a CD right about that same time, so it works out well. It's let's see. So, what inspired the name of your band? How'd you pick out Nightwatch Paradox?
The cheat answer is we came back from the future and told ourselves to name ourselves that.
Good answer. That works for me.
It was one of many. When we first starting the group back in 2013, we were like, okay, first it was just steampunk project to be named later.
Mm-hmm.
So then we sort of threw a bunch of names out, and this was the one that everybody voted on. So it means, I won't say the meaning of it that I thought behind it, but it means whatever you want it to mean.
Very good. No, you don't have to say what you thought of for behind it, but why won't you say it? Is it that bad?
It's too awesome to share. That's it.
Gotcha. Good answer. Good answer. So do you guys drink when you perform? And if so, what drink would somebody have to order and send to stage for you?
I unfortunately can't play too well when I've had too much to drink.
Water it is.
So water initially, and then maybe I will allow myself a nice stout towards the end of the second set. So by the time I hit the last song, it hasn't affected me too much.
And you, Andy?
Yeah, I think I'm just too much of a goody-goody at heart. So I've always had a policy of not drinking when playing. So just keep the water coming.
There is nothing wrong with just water through the whole set. I have seen some bands that they drink the whole time and they are wasted by the end of their set. And I'm like, wow. I mean, especially when you're putting in that much sweat and energy. Oof. Andrea?
There's some that drink Gatorade because the lights and the sweat, and you need to keep your energy up. So,
when you're drinking and playing, you think you sound awesome, and then when you hear the recording later, you're like, holy moly.
That's just like me when I'm sober. I don't have the gift of, but I do like it. So let's see here. How about a nice random question? Actually, you know what? Gentlemen, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I had no clue. A musician.
Was it music all along? Okay, what about you?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, if you ask my dad, he'll say I wanted to be lots of things, and I always changed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I do remember a time in elementary school when I wanted to be Batman.
Nice. Good choice.
And drive a Batmobile.
And as an adult, you still hold that dream, right?
Yeah, and I wanted to get married to Batgirl.
Oh, yeah.
She was pretty hot back in the day. But, yeah, I mean, that was kind of my childhood dream. And then I'm not Batman.
Yeah, we won't tell anyone.
That we know of. That we know of.
Never seen you in the room together.
That's because I'm Batman.
Why not? Yes.
Absolutely. And I think we've already, of course, we're talked about your latest project. Are you working on your next project yet?
Not yet. Soon.
So we've been, all the songs that are on the Magnificent Machines and Astonishing Tales, most of them were written years ago. There were a couple that we added fairly recently, but most of them were written, a while back. We've been playing for a while. So we started recording in December. Is that right?
Yes.
You did okay with the timeline.
So it's taken this long to get to the finished product. We have at least another album or two of material that we haven't even touched yet as a band. So, yeah, we've got album 3 and 4 waiting for money to do it. That's basically it.
But we are going to do a bonus track.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We have picked out the track. It's actually going to be a cover. Should I tell them about it, Andy?
Yeah.
So there's an awesome satirical musician, performer, Tom Lehrer. He's been around for years. And so we have our own version of the Irish ballad.
Nice.
So we're going to go ahead in the next couple of months and knock that out, and perhaps have an accompanying video for that as well.
Good deal. I tell you what, I've mentioned this to a few steampunk bands throughout the years, and nobody's done it because obviously when you're creative, you have enough shit to do without pulling in just bonus stuff. That I would love to hear a steampunk band, especially with a huge variety of instruments like yourself or This Way to the Geekery, do essentially what is now Renaissance fair music, but it's actually from the 17 and 1800s, so like 16 tons, or any of the classic Irish pub music type things, but with all the modern instrumentation that we have in our bands. Because I'd like to hear some of these, what were one man and a flute or one man and a guitar, now has this depth and power behind it with all these other instruments. And I have lost every damn song in my head about it. But yeah, you guys know the ones. All those Irish pub music that you now hear at Ren fairs going, you know what, that is not 1600s.
Are you talking maybe something along the lines of Blackmore's Night?
Along those lines, but did they... See, now I've got to go look up some of these songs, because I hear the tunes in my head, but I can't place... let's see if I can get a quick list here.
We were recently surveying our fans on Facebook to give us ideas for potential new cover songs that would be high-energy cover songs. So this may help guide us.
Yeah, it's... give me just a second. Oh, okay, here we go. Like Wild Colonial Boy, Whiskey in the Jar, Spancel Hill, All for Me Grog, I'll Tell Me Ma. All these ones that we've been hearing for literally centuries now. 7 Drunken Nights, which I have yet to find a version of that I go, that's a great version. Because so many people, well, they kind of just put on that drunken accent, which takes away from the song in some ways. If done right, I'm sure it'd be wonderful. But, a lot of these things, Irish Rover, Molly Malone, Finnegan's Wake, that we've all heard 50 different versions of that, but none of them with the power of the instrumentation behind them.
Well, funny you should say, 3 of the songs that you mentioned were songs that we pulled out for a St. Patrick's Day gig that we did in D.C. So we've been debating amongst the band whether we should just leave those as a sort of a one-off St. Patty's Day thing, or whether we should explore using one of those as a new cover song.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's I would love to hear it, but again, I would rather a band stick with their passion and create new as much as I want to hear these other things, because I'll be damned if I'm ever going to go, oh, no, you should do stuff everybody's heard. That's just bonus. Those are the songs everybody knows and can sing along with, but the new music is that. It's the creation. So I don't knock it when I can't find it, but I'd like to hear it. Even like when Metallica did Whiskey in the Jar. And, of course, a lot of stuff that, I guess, Flogging Molly and, what's her name's? Out of Boston.
Dropkick Murphys.
That's them. Yeah. Between those two, you get a lot of it. But, yeah. With theirs, I have found, and I enjoy them, but I have found a lot of time the instrumentation overwhelms the vocals. And you kind of lose the vocals, which, for me, the music, if there are vocals, that is your focus point. That's the tip of your pyramid. And there's nothing worse than hearing a great song and going, what they say? I can't hear them over everything else. It's So what advice would you give your younger selves? And at what age is that younger self? Are we looking at 12? Are we looking at 30? Or yesterday?
Follow what you love, and the money will later come. Ha ha ha. Maybe.
We all live our dreams, right?
Yeah.
I would. My younger self. I didn't start playing guitar till I was 18 because I didn't know that you could play guitar left-handed. So I would have talked to my 12-year-old self and said, "Hey, actually not. Yeah, I would have said, learn to play earlier."
There you go. Here's a guitar, kid. Start playing.
Right.
Get all the chicks.
Right.
How's that working out? And will they come over and like clean the windows and stuff?
Hey, do you know how to pick up chicks? Like this.
Is that like a henway?
In a literal sense, it could be. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going. I've lost it with the chicks. It's like the old joke of
You're welcome.
The chick on the street corner going, "I'll do anything for $20," and you hand him 20 and go, "Clean my house." Yeah.
Yep.
So, what would you guys name your autobiography?
Too many guitars, not enough time.
That's a good title. Sounds like a song.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't know.
You think about it and then just blurt it out when it comes to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I got too many things going on. I think that would be.
That's a good title too. Or yeah, that could be a song title also. Describe our lives well enough. So Andrew, did you have another question?
No, I'm just doing my thing. But speaking of songs, do we have another one?
We do. I can pull that out now if you gentlemen are ready. Let's see. We're looking for Mr. Goodbar. Now, that's one of the, and I'll immediately after play You Can Be More.
Right. So in the context of the story of our rock opera, part of the thing is that we're trying to find new crew. So we're searching all over, looking for crew members, and our our first mate is a bit of a sexist, or it seems. Mm-hmm. So we'll just that's a good setup.
Okay. Yep. Let's do this.
Time was running out for the crew to find new members. Well, as much as time can run out when you have a time machine, they searched all over Fells Point, Canton, Harlantown, Federal Hill, Hampden, even Dundalk and Essex. But the gentlemen of Baltimore were a rowdy bunch, and the crew was getting impatient.
I've looked everywhere, Captain, and I just can't seem to find any more good men for the ship.
Hey, who fixed the buoyancy gauge when you boys could not?
Well, you did.
And who helped you boys out of that bind in Rarotonga?
Well?
You did. And women, yes. Right, yes. We should look for good women for our crew.
You can be more, that's what my mother said. You can be more if you strive to be well read. You can be more, not just another girl. You can be more, as you can change the world. I made my presence known as a very young child. My imagination's always running wild. I always felt like I never quite fit in. My parents would say that's the way it's always been. You can be more, that's what my mother said. You can be more, strive to be well read. You can be more, not just another girl. You can be more, so you can change the world. While most girls were content with learning how to sew, the world was full women in this town. From the word-go, I always went up with full steam. I kept my vision focused right on my dream. They said I couldn't hitch my wagon to a star, but here I am, and I've come so far. You can be more, that's what my mother said. You can be more, strive to be well read. You can be more, not just another girl. You can be more, you can change the world. You can be more. You can be more. You can be more. You can be more. Yes, you can change the world.
Tell you what, I love the blend of the different styles over the different tracks. It's where you get, and even that one in the middle, it went from the one feel to a very rock feel for your bridge, and then it came back, and yeah, I really appreciate that. And to heck with people that are like, oh no, one type of music only.
There's no rules in steampunk.
That's right. That's right.
That's one of the sort of guiding principles when Andrew said, let's start this thing. When we were in the former band, the Treading Lemmings, everything we wrote had to be in the Treading style, which was a very, rock, alt indie style, which is fun. We love that music. That's great. Right. But a lot of other stuff, and at least for me as a songwriter, a lot of the stuff that I wanted to write, but wasn't even appropriate for that band. So when we started this, we're like, there's no rules, any style, whatever we want to throw, mix together. It's all good. We don't want to be pigeonholed. Every song stands on its own.
I definitely agree with that concept. It's as a writer, one of the keys to being successful as anything is do the same thing over and over again, so you get your following. And as a writer, I can't stick to one genre. And for music, my playlist is really eclectic. I have people listen and then they complain, and I'm like, wait, give it a minute. The next song will be something totally different and you'll like it. So, yeah, I'm with you on that one. And the message, well done there. Nice there. It's, especially as what we're going through as a society, where we're encouraging the diversity and realizing that, hey, it's not just white men that have ability, talent, skill, something to offer. It's everybody. And for, I don't know, millennium, we've been blind to that. So
yeah. So the message was, I have 3 daughters. So I was sort of, when it says, that's what my mother said, I just kept the mother because it sounded better. That's what my father said.
Sure.
But that was essentially, a inspirational message, for my daughters, but also to all other young girls and women that you can be more than people think you can be, or maybe even that you yourself think you can be. Plus, it has the nice double meaning that be more is also a slang or what's the word? Nickname for Baltimore.
Ah, nice.
So it's a shout out to Baltimore and to the power of women.
So this could be like their theme music. You just contact City Hall and go, we got your next commercial.
Exactly.
There we go. And by the way, even though it is a female-centric song, I don't see any problem with, a teenage boy or whoever listening to this and taking it to heart too, because it's not, it's female-centric, but it's not necessarily gender-specific in its message. It's just, don't sell yourself short and go do that shit and learn. It's the one line where, my mother said, read more, or be well read. And it's like, yeah, good. Because whether you like it or hate it, you can learn something from something if you read it.
If you strive to be well read, it's a line.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I only heard it once. My bad.
Close enough.
Yeah, you know what I meant, and you could correct me, so that's good. That's always good. I don't mind being corrected. It's because I learned something. So let's see here. We'll play another tune in a little bit here, but I want to ask about, let's see, what makes you guys get up in the morning? What motivates you to get out of bed?
Well, I do have a day job, so I gotta make
The alarm clock.
I was going to say my bladder motivates me to get out of bed.
At 2 and again at 5. Damn it.
Yeah.
And by the way, for all the young folks viewing, all these jokes we make, they're real. You just wait. Yeah. I hit 45. I'm like, no, I don't have that. Yeah, it's amazing what a difference 2 years can make. I often see what the house looks like in the middle of the night now.
I would say though, as a creative person, it's awesome to have that outlet to make life that much more enjoyable. I mean, we all have jobs, sometimes can be drudgery.
Mm-hmm.
So it's awesome to be able to outside of that do something where you can kind of exercise your creative mojo and have fun at it.
Well, I like the track you're on and the attitude you have, where earlier in the show you said we're looking for a place we could do a 3-day gig. And you were looking, instead of just, whatever shows up, or let me try these small places, this is how you get somewhere. You go outside of your comfort zone and you try things that in the back of your head you're like, oh no, you're not ready for this. But the bottom line is, take that step, because you'll rise to the challenge and you'll make it work. And even when you mess up, nobody in the audience knows.
Sure.
If you play it off
this
right.
is true. Yeah.
Yeah,
they don't know.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of folks when they mess up and they're like, let me start it again. And I'm like, you could have gone on. None of us would have known.
That's what I was going to say. They don't know unless you tell them.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing better than when you're watching a comedian or a live act of any sort, when they mess up and they laugh, you bond with your audience instantly, because now the audience has an inside thing. So this is actually a plus. Unless you're really horrible and mess up the whole thing always, then that's your act now. So what's your favorite experience on stage, whether it's with a fan or whatever? What's the favorite thing, the one memory you're like, I've got a story for you? And it could be somebody throwing panties at the stage, or you throwing yours into the audience, whatever.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet. I'm so disappointed.
Well, that's because you drink water.
Yeah, I think back in our Treading Lemmings days, there were a couple things that were wild that happened. I'll tell you a funny story. It's not. It's funny now, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe not. It actually, we were playing a gig, and all of a sudden, like mid-song, Andy disappears, and I'm like, where did he go? Where did he go? What is going on? And the poor guy had done a Pete Townsend thing with his arm, and he shredded his hand on the bridge of his guitar, and he was just dripping blood all over the place. So that definitely adds to his punk rock cred.
There you go. You're like, you want to see my scar? Right there, buddy. Oh, left hand, sorry.
Now, as far as like Night Watch Paradox, I guess, it's just awesome when people like sing along, like when they know the words. That is just, there's something magical about that. And now that we have our CD coming out really soon, hopefully that will happen more frequently.
It will. That'll make a big difference. It's hard. And Andy, I want you to answer the question too, but I'm going to prattle for a second. It's hard to put out a CD every year, but we are in that world of what have you done for me lately? And it's not like 20, 30 years ago where you could come out with one every 3 years and still top the charts. Whatever charts we top right here. So, Andy, what about you? You got a moment that stands out in your head, an interaction with a fan or on stage?
Well, I'm going to have, if we go way back to the college days and playing in a band. I remember several times when people would, the drunk guy would come up on stage and want to jam.
Mm-hmm.
So dealing with drunk people trying to go, hey, I know this song. Let me sing this song. Like, so I have some of those memories. I totally forgot about the shredding of my hand with the Townsend windmill. But related to that, I think one of my favorite things that we did for one of the shows in the Treading Lemmings was something I being a Pete Townsend fan, was I always wanted to smash a guitar. So we had a show at the Treading Lemmings. I forget where it was, but it was supposed to be a big deal. It was a 98 Rock local radio station showcase. So like it's going to be the climax of the show. So I bought a cheap guitar on eBay, and we kind of jerry rigged it so it would basically play part of a song, and then I could smash it easily. So I started off playing on my regular guitar, and then during a break, I got the other guitar out, played a couple chords, and then at the end of the song, I smashed it on stage.
Did it work out okay?
That was pretty fun.
Good.
That was a cool thing. So yeah, I got to live my rock and roll fantasy out a little bit there.
And I'm glad to hear you did it that way, with bringing in a different guitar, a stunt guitar, if you will, because I'm terrified when I'm on stage and I see the same guitar and they're like, I'm like, well, I guess you make millions of dollars, you can do that. But for me, I'm like, no, can't you just clog dance or something?
So if you could open for anybody, who would it be?
Ooh.
Steampunk or otherwise? Anybody.
Steampunk.
Anybody.
I mean, now that I'm talking about the Who, all I can do is think about the Who. So I think if
that would work.
If we could open our rock opera, Magnificent Machines and Astonishing Tales, followed by Tommy and Quadrophenia.
Oh yeah,
sure.
The trinity of rock operas, and that would be like super awesome. But
that would be awesome.
And do you have a different answer?
I don't have anyone in particular that I'm envisioning. I'm coming up with a blank right now. So I'll take his answer.
Okay, let's go back to basics then. So you get to set up an event, your 3-day event, and you're going to bring 2 other bands in. Who you calling? And keep it with somebody that you could call, as opposed to the Who. Not that you couldn't call them. You never know.
They might be listening. You never know.
Yeah, hey.
All right, I got one. Yeah. So I saw my daughter, who's in college. She's my pop culture guru, because oddly enough, when you're a musician, a lot of times you're so wrapped up in your own thing. Mm-hmm. So she's really into the Squirrel Nut Zippers.
Oh, I like
and anyone who's never seen those guys live, they are just so much fun and phenomenal. And I would say, yeah, why not? Let's open up for them. That would be a hoot.
There you go.
I think probably more in the realm of realistic would be, like I said, I love This Way to the Egress.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a lot of fun to play with them, and Frenchie and the Punk. Those would be.
That'd be a hell of a trio.
My two to realistically play with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about like each of you get a half hour on stage. I'm talking about each of you get a full show with that 30-minute break for teching the next whoever and whatnot, and a large enough stage that you don't have to drag equipment off and back on.
Well, we can mention this to them when they come on the show.
Hey, there you go.
So there you go. Who knows?
Yeah, and then you wouldn't have to be at an event. You would be the event.
That's the goal.
Yeah. See,
I've actually reached out to Egress a couple times and to see if they would be interested in coming out to Baltimore and having me set up something. And I guess they're just really, really busy. So it hasn't worked out, but perhaps it will in the future.
We'll drop a bug in the air when we have them on the show.
Awesome.
I'm waiting for Steam Stock to happen. I'm waiting for 20 or 30 steampunk bands over a weekend in a stage in a field.
Somewhere
That would be great because they don't camp, they glamp. Can you imagine the tents?
Yes. Somewhere in Virginia near you, hopefully.
No, you've got
plenty of farmland.
There is. There's all kinds of wide open land, and it would be central to, North Carolina, everything south, central to everything north, Pennsylvania, New York, Maryland. And as for the folks out west, well, if they can make it. But I think, in my knowledge, it seems like most of the steampunk bands I know in the U.S. at least are this side of the Mississippi. There's a few very west coast, but there's not a lot in between West Coast and the Mississippi. So you could get a pretty good stretch of folks. Then, of course, I'm sure Monty would show up, and I'm sure, Victor and the Bully has made a trip out here a couple of times, so I bet you could get a decent lineup.
They should be out here again this year for TeslaCon, I believe.
I think so, yeah. What about conventions and you guys? You got any conventions that you're set up for coming up?
We do have the one. We'll be doing one performance at Key City Steampunk on August the 17th. And then the other, nothing yet in the pipeline. The thing is, we're at the point now where we have not yet gotten to the point yet where we're able to demand actual money.
I understand. Yeah.
To cover the trip. So in theory, we'd love to say do Dragon Con or Tesla Con or Motor City Steam Con. But you're talking about 6 or 7 people who have to travel.
Yeah.
And I can see where, at Victor and the Bully, it's a lot easier because it's just 2 of them.
Sure. Or Frenchie and the Punk, or etc.
Or Frenchie and the Punk. So we're hoping that down the road, people who are putting on some of these conventions will see the value and be able to budget in a little bit more to bring Night Watch Paradox out.
Absolutely. There's nothing worse. As a creative person, you aim to do what you can wherever you can. But there comes a point where you have to stop losing money on performing. It's one thing to work for free and sell your CDs when you have your hotel and your travel covered. It's another thing to go, great, we just performed and it cost us $700 to $1,000 to do it, and that's rough. It's what do you do?
Yeah, I think for us, part of the issue is that by steampunk standards, we're still unknown to most people in the steampunk world. So they're like, Night Watch 2? Well, who are what's that? So we don't have the name recognition that some of the other bands that we've been talking about have because they've been around for a while. So, we think that our music and our concept and everything is equally as good. It's just that we don't have the name recognition, so we can't go to some convention and have them see our application and go, ooh, we got to have these guys.
Right.
Right now, they look at it and they go, who are they?
Right. Well, the bottom line a convention is going to look at is if they pay you, are you going to draw enough people to cover the cost of bringing you in? And that's why you doing these things on your own and looking for your own venues and going to these other places that aren't necessarily steampunk related. It's smart. It's smart. Build your own name. Don't make the cons build your name. Because that doesn't work out as well. You end up doing everything for free. And once you set that bar so low, it's so easy to get taken advantage of. And not cruelly, not meanly. They're doing what they have to do too. And so, yeah. But that's what things like Talk of the Tavern is for, to help get that word out there. Build those audiences on both sides of the fence. And when we started the show, that was what I wanted. I wanted these conversations so people watching, they can get to know you, get to hear your music, and then go, oh, here's one more great group that I want to put in my rotation and see someday. So I'm still staring at the guitars. I don't play at all, so so you ever play a keytar?
No, I have not.
Look at Ange down there.
I do have a piano. So my next, just while we're talking about gas syndrome, I do have another. I just bought. Let's see if we can see it. The one on the left, the acoustic guitar on the left. I just bought that recently, even though I didn't need an acoustic guitar. It was a great price, and there was a left-handed guitar that was one of 6 made. So I was like, okay. But I have another guitar coming. I'm waiting on another Eastwood, which is the folks who make these guitars, and it's actually a double neck guitar and bass.
See, I feel like you just need to write a song so you can have those guitars in the song at some point.
See, that was
it. Sounds like they need to sponsor you
so the
to help your addiction.
They should.
That song you played at first, the "Don't Lose Your Heads." So in the studio, I start. If you listen closely, you can hear me strumming a 12-string guitar, and then I come in with the bass when the drums come in. So that's I could play this live, playing the guitar, and then switch to the bass. So
there you go. There you
anyway,
go. And that's why you need the whole stage to yourself, so you can have all these guitars lined up behind you. it's
my roadie.
That's right. That's the other thing. The folks demand your tables when you're on stage and all that good stuff. Tell you what, shall we play the Bumbling Spies?
Yes.
Got an intro, or are we talking after?
So you talked about, we mentioned the klezmer musical style. This is the klezmer influence song. So
I'll tell you what,
we'll leave it at
just the title makes it sound fun, so I'm really looking forward to hearing this. So let's get it.
It's a sing-along.
There we go.
Drifting
So that's Casimir, huh? Am I saying that right?
Klezmer.
Klezmer. Spell that for me.
Klezmer.
Okay, see, it has the Gypsy Carnival Fest feel, and I love that kind of music, but I didn't know there was a word for it. So, and again, that cello and flute, I miss the era where bands had more than just a bass, a lead guitar, and a drum set. Totally different types of music, but like Huey Lewis, Billy Joel, Dire Straits all had these other instruments, or Egress with their tuba. And I love to hear and see those extra elements in there because there's so much to them. And to blend them with the electric guitar and everything. Yeah, Andrew?
Well, this gives all the band people in high school hope if they play tuba or accordion or whatever.
That's right.
There is a place for you in music.
There is. And you just got to dig it out yourself because we've gotten away from that in our live music. And
not just polka music.
Right. That's right. Every kind of music. There's nothing wrong. And I did hear the clown horn, by the way. So, and I gave a little thumbs up when I heard that kick in. So.
Yeah, we laid that down, and I think our lead singer did not know that it was there on the track. So when she was cutting her vocals, her final vocals, and they hit full bore, she cracked up a little bit, which was pretty much the point.
Good. It's there's a point in there where your female lead gets this very throaty sound for just a couple words. And I love that. And if I may perhaps cross a artistic bound here, I would love to hear that at the end of a couple of your other songs where you're just repeating the one line, to have one of the two female vocals give that punch to it, to draw it at the end. And that's just a personal opinion. It doesn't mean you're not doing everything just right anyway. I'm very cautious about giving anything that might be considered criticism, because I know this is your baby. But yeah, that punch, it's...
You can tell him that's a no, Travis.
Yeah, you could tell me that. It's...
Well, I think I'm happy just that you're talking about our music, so any way you want to talk about it's good.
Yeah, no, it's... and I definitely like picking out the differences and appreciating the change-ups and everything, and because eclectic, it's what I do. It's what I enjoy. I can never eat the same thing multiple days in a row, minus leftovers, because yay, leftovers. But when it comes to cooking, it's Indian one night, Mexican the next night, steak and potato the third night. You know, it's never the same thing.
We travel the world with food.
And music.
Same with music. Yeah.
Yep.
To bring it back around. So we've got one more song, and we've got about 15 more minutes. Let's do this real quick. Let's once again, Andrea, if you'll post a link for their group in the chat. You guys want to pimp your wares a little bit? Give them your elevator pitch. Let them know why they need your music.
Sure. So you need our music because it is fun and enjoyable, and it's a journey, because if you buy our CD when it becomes available, which should be in a couple weeks, it's not just the songs. You're actually going to get the whole story, so you can listen from start to finish and get the story the first time around, and then after that, if you want to pinpoint particular songs that you prefer, you can listen to those as well.
I tell you what. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to pimp. We have a CD release party coming up on Saturday for our Frederick, Maryland, or people who live close enough to Frederick, Maryland peeps. We will be at the Blue Side Tavern on Saturday the 26th. The show will start at 9:30.
Very good.
Now, can that information be found on your website also? Facebook page? Okay.
Yes.
All the links are in the chat.
Yes.
There we go.
I was just going to add, so the album it's a double disc, right? We've already said that. And it is the audio version of our steampunk rock opera. So as Ange said, you get the whole story, start to finish, set up, the whole experience. And in addition to that, I think one of the things that makes us a little different is we will also have a fully illustrated, full color lyric book that will be basically like a comic book size, and it'll have illustrated picture by Carl Yonder of all of the songs. Each song has its own sort of illustration, and then the lyrics.
Beautiful.
So we think that the story and the lyrics are, steampunk is essentially a literary genre. So words are very important, stories are very important. So the book will be a nice accompaniment to the CD that can be purchased separately or as a package.
Very good. If you guys reach out to Feline and Strange, they're in Germany.
We know them.
Okay. Say again?
We have the same producer, Tyler Garrett,
Ah.
at Wave Studio. So big shout out to Tyler, who
Awesome.
produced our album with it's a Herculean task to do 16 tracks of music and 15 audio dialogue sound effect tracks.
It absolutely is. It's a Herculean task to do 3, let alone all the more. It's but yeah, I know they've done things with a lot of different bands here in the U.S. Valentine Wolf. Andrea, do you remember who else they said? Oh, I'm forgetting. I want to see Egress.
They're just fun.
And they're all over the
my
place,
God.
and they're eclectic enough. I think if you guys contacting them sure wouldn't hurt anything. It'd be one more very fun, loose personality group to know, and then maybe get you over to Europe to one of their festivals. Yeah, all 15 of you with your 43 instruments.
I'm just looking forward to when you have your rock opera on stage. I want to see this.
Now, are you going to video that?
That will be eventually the plan. So part one would be to find a venue where we could set it up, and yeah, that's part two, Andy. Part one is find a venue where we can do a couple consecutive dates and get all the technical ends taken care of. Part two will be the money to do it right.
What about local community theaters?
We will be looking into that.
Okay.
Yep.
And when you do a Kickstarter for it, let us know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Surely.
It's one of those things, even if we can't bring you on for a whole show, there is nothing wrong with bringing you on for 10 or 15 minutes so you can talk about it, etc., etc. Especially as you grow and we grow and things get busier and heavier, maintaining that network where it's more than just, oh, it's that guy, put him on, okay, get him off. Where, we actually want to support you and we like you and that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
So as far as can I make another plug that maybe Andrea can link? So if you Google Magnificent Machines and Astonishing Tales, we had a great review by the, was it DC Metro Arts?
Yes.
Of our performance at the Charm City Fringe Festival last November. So we got a very gracious review of our show there. So
very nice.
Check it out.
Very nice. It's now let's do one more song and then come back and wrap it up here. The Time Is Ours is next. Any intro, or shall I just roll it?
I would say that this is our centerpiece, for lack of a better term, of our whole rock opera, because the rock opera centers around time travel. The other thing to know is that when we do this live, we integrate many cowbells.
Nice.
As because we need the cowbells to get to generate potential fuel.
Kinetic energy.
Kinetic energy. That's the word I was looking for.
To fuel to power our time machine.
Right.
Very cool.
There's a short break in the middle of the song in the recorded version where you can hear the cowbell. So when we do that live, that break is much longer with lots of audience participation and more cowbell.
I have a cowbell. I love all your little references and nods and homages. Just in the half dozen we've gone through, there's been something in almost every one.
Yep.
And the link to the Magnificent Machines and Astonishing Tales thing you were talking about is in the chat now.
There you go.
Awesome.
Thank you, Andrea. Okay, let's play.
This is probably our heaviest song, or one of our heaviest songs.
Well, just the title alone speaks volumes of Time Is Ours. So I'm curious to hear the message through the tune here. So let's do this.
Cowbell break.
Definitely rock it out on that one, don't you? That's good stuff there, guys. It's and isn't it odd listening to your own music?
Yeah, I suppose.
Because you heard it so many times when making it.
So many times, yeah.
To hear the completed thing with other folks around when you're not performing it. It's Andy, Andrew, I want to thank you both for coming on and bringing Night Watch Paradox to talk at the tavern. And
thanks so much for having us.
Yeah.
And we will encourage people to pick up a cowbell. They're not that expensive. So when they go see you live, they can join in during that.
Yes.
Then you can hear the raucous things of all these people without rhythm playing along.
Been there, done that.
You were saying, Andy?
I said that has happened.
Gotcha. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Keep us up to date. Let us help you and spread the word when you need it. So pop back around when you need the boost.
Thank you very much, Travis.
My pleasure. And just so you know, I will have this up. It'll be an archive immediately on Twitch, but by 4 o'clock tomorrow, it'll be up on YouTube. So you guys can share that link and spread it around. And let people see the other side that they don't get to see on stage.
Cool. And thank you, Andrea, for finding all the links and posting all that stuff. We appreciate
you're welcome. Thank you for being awesome. Here's to you.
Yeah. Here's to the Night Watch Paradox, guys.
Cheers.
Sláinte.
There you go. Well said. Okay, gentlemen, I'm going to cut you loose. And for all the viewers, we've got another hour, so don't go anywhere, and we will be back after our refill break. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, you too.
And let's do our refill break.
Sit right back and relax, or get up and get a drink and refill what you have, while the cast and cohorts and co-hosts of Talk of the Tavern do the same. Now here's the testimony of some of the great people we've had on Talk of the Tavern or previously on Sounds of Steam. Enjoy.
This is Gail Carragher, author of The Finishing School and the Custard Protocol series, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Aiden Sivart, Steampunk Indiana Jones.
Hey, this is Scott.
This is Samantha.
And we're Frenchie and the Punk.
I'm Karen Kay, also known as the Fairy Lady and editor of Fame magazine and also founder of Fairy Events.
This is K.W. Jeter, author of Infernal Devices and Fiendish Schemes.
Kircher here. I play Bifur in the Hobbit trilogy, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Trevor Crafts, executive producer and creator of Lantern City.
This is Lord Bobbins of TeslaCon. Huzzah!
Steampunk Funk Bazaar here, Lord Monty right in front of your radio.
Hello, this is Professor Elemental. When I'm not taking a bath in gin or trying to invent a new kind of badger, I'm listening. Oh, yes!
This is Stephen Davis of Raising Steam UK, 2-day Steampunk Festival in Reading. Enjoy.
I'm Thomas Williford of Brute Force Studios, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Commander Bob of Victor Sierra. Je suis la légendaire princesse convertie de Victor Sierra.
Hi, my name is Sarah from Valentine Wolf.
Hey, this is Braxton from Valentine Wolf.
This is Aileen the Peacemaker, the founding editor of Beyond Victoriana, the multicultural steampunk blog.
Hey, this is Joseph C.R. Vortek, otherwise known as Electro Swing Neo Vintage DJ Vortek, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern. I hope you come out of it in one piece. I'm not sure I did.
And don't forget about our other shows during the week. Tunesday, Middle Age Gamers on Wednesday, and Virtual International Pub VIP on Thursdays. Make sure you join us there, 1 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m.
Hi, my name is Ashley Rogers. I'm the organizer of the Copper Claw.
This is Calamity Dawn, mixologist of Airship Passepartout.
This is Commodore Lorpikar of Lost Saints Curiosities.
This is Jimmy Diggs of the Crypto Historians, reminding you that the future is in your hands.
This is Gabrielle Reel.
Hi, this is D. Clarence Snyder, writer of the Bright Future series, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Professor Marcus O'Bannon, the Chief Scientific Investigator for the Crypto Historians.
This is Lady Gatita of Nerdvana.
Hey, this is Angie Velo from Ghostfire.
This is Hannah Titania, Queen of the Fairies.
This is Jeff Platt of Highland Steamworks.
This is Danielle Ackley McPhail, co-author of Baba Ali and the Clockwork Djinn, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern Radio.
Hi, this is John R. White, author of The Tales of the Airship Neverland.
This is Catherine Gleason, author of Anatomy of Steampunk, The Fashion of Victorian Futurism.
This is opera singer Katie Cat.
This is Keith Prusak of Bad September.
This is Captain James Barrington of the mighty Claxton.
This is Emily Leverett, and I'm the editor of Big Bad and Anthology of Evil, Volumes 1 and 2, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
Hola radioescuchas, les habla Lady Smoke de Sociedad de Steampunk Argentina y Sindicato Dieselpunk.
This is Melanie Grace with Live Steamy. We are warm.
Okay, and dropping that a little early because we're back. Oh, I guess I need to rearrange my screen, don't I? Just squeeze the Andrea a little smaller. You're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
I hit a button. That was fun.
It was, and I tell you what. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to talk about rock operas, which is kind of the same thing as...
That's what I was going to.
Yeah, so like a concept album.
I need this in my life. I need to see this on stage.
Oh, and hello to Kennedy. Good to see you, buddy. Don't forget...
Hi, Kennedy!
I think I need an address to mail you something. It doesn't have to be your home address. I don't need to know where you live, but someplace I could send this coin off to you, bud. Are you driving a train right now? Do you have your phone plugged in? It's...
Me?
No, Kennedy, not you. I know you're not driving. Are you driving a train?
Driving a train?
Because that'd be a different meaning if you don't have a train. So, yeah, Kennedy, you won the coin last night. Did you miss it when I announced it? Did you blink?
He wasn't paying attention.
Probably not. It was a good show last night, too. Yeah.
Rock operas. Okay, there's not enough of these. And I think if they do that, that will get their name out.
Yeah.
So let's encourage them. Everybody stalk them on Instagram, Twitter, like their page, find a venue where they should play it.
Well, like when we had Feline and Strange, they mentioned they have a concept album. That's similar to a rock opera. No, basically, it's just an album. There you go. Wherever you want, Kennedy, just drop me a private message, whether it's on Twitch, Facebook, email, wherever, man. Just let me know where to send it. We'll get it out to you sometime. Well, the longer you take it to get it to us, the longer we take it to get to you. So, within a reasonable amount.
I would have mailed it today, but no.
It's
Well, I know there's a lot of bands that have concept albums. Feline and Strange, Night Watch Paradox, Automaton.
Marco Aiello.
I would like to...
Marco, I think I'm saying his name wrong, the last name, Iona, out of Italy, who now lives in London. And yeah, he originally came to me going, can you do all my social media for me? And I went, no, I've got too much stuff I do for myself. But he's the guy that's always clicking like on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. And yeah, he has one also, which I haven't heard. But yeah, it's...
I think this should be the next thing.
Yeah.
Especially in the steampunk community, at the festivals, have like rock operas.
Yeah, to be able
have
to do
just the
this
whole story play out. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's and this is why you need more than a half hour for that band on stage. You need to.
Yeah.
Now, Night Watch Paradox with their double CD, that would be a long show. They would need a break in the middle. Just to...
Yeah, I mean, like they have at movies that are extra long. Intermission.
Or an opera. It's.
I think I'm just on the rock opera kick right now because we watched the movie Saving Sarah Marshall, and there's one with puppets in that movie.
A Dracula-based one with puppets.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's and I like it when bands have a bit of humor. There's more than... I don't want to say more than the music, because it's still in the music, but their music has more than just a standalone song. And I'm not knocking a standalone song. I just love a good story.
I like those too.
Yeah. It's... Oh, so everybody who is viewing, welcome to the third hour, which is our goofing off hour. So we're going to ramble and babble and do whatever we feel like. So feel free to join in, chit-chat if you are so inclined. Let's see, do we still have Toei with us?
She's working, so she's in the background.
She is, yeah, and no need to comment. Mm-hmm.
I do want to talk about this cigar.
Yeah, please do. No, that's
one of the ones that Des got me. It's Drew Estate Java. See, she's here.
I just want to do a shout out to her.
This is good. It's a coffee, chocolatey flavor, not mint. You can smell the mint, but you don't taste the mint. It's good.
Interesting. So it's one you'd get again?
Yes, it wouldn't be my go-to, but I do like it.
That's Groovy Blue.
I enjoy it. It's Groovy Blue, Tatiana Groovy Blue. Yes, those are my favorite. Or nub. Oliva makes nubs in espresso. Those are my favorite. So if anybody wants to send me some.
There you go.
Cool.
There we go. And now, what was the one you had last night? It was a Java, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And you said that one was very good. No?
No, that wasn't Java. That was the nub.
Oh, it was the nub. Okay, what was it? One of the...
It was a different size.
Gotcha, okay.
It was the nub espresso. It was a different size. I don't remember what that size was, but it's a smaller one, not the short, fat ones.
Gotcha.
And I think I enjoyed that more because it doesn't take an hour to smoke.
Right.
It's like 20 minutes, which 20 minutes is good for me. Any longer, no.
You know what? I am going to switch up.
Not like the ones that you smoke.
No, I like one that lasts 3 hours.
I want to give out a shout out to Toei. I'm reading your book right now. And I'll put a review up as soon as I'm finished. Just saying.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. For anybody viewing, if you enjoyed Miss Periwinkle's Home for Weird Kids, what was it called?
Periwinkle? Peregrine.
You're right, Peregrine, Home for Mutant Children.
I think I like this better.
I do too, because there's a reason I only read the first one of Peregrine. It was okay, it was fine, but it just didn't...
Now, I read all 3 Peregrines, and there's a 4th one coming out. And I'll read it because I do enjoy it. But I'm getting into this a little bit quicker than the Peregrine ones.
Yeah.
So here's it's Utopia.
Pronounced Utopia.
Oh, I'm sorry. Utopia.
That's how the locals pronounce it in the book. By Wynn Mercer.
And Wynn Mercer. Go check it out, buy it, review it. There you go.
So, Toei, you're saying you're thinking of writing another... You know what, Toei, do you have Skype up? Do you want to come on? Talk a little bit about your book? Or are you working? Let us know. It's, Oh, you know what, speaking of which...
I'm all about some Toei right now with the reading, so...
Yeah.
You can tell me to stop.
Let me do this real quick. Toei, I tried to do it when you're on air, but we tend to air at the same time, so I am... heading to your channel right now to... There it is. I've got to subscribe to...
Are you going to subscribe?
I am.
There you go.
I am. So, and I've been waiting to do it while she's on air, so I can get the pat on the head and the attention from it. But
she's working. She doesn't want to come on.
Fine.
She said that's a no.
Yeah, absolutely.
You work.
Absolutely. Just checking. It's but yeah, I really enjoyed that book, and so you're getting the itch to write another one, huh? That is such a mixed thing when you're busy doing 50 other things where, yay, I've got the urge, I've got the creative drive to do this project right after these 7. Yeah, absolutely. Happy to support. It's it only goes to my favorite people. Where is Mo? I'm surprised Mo isn't around today. Oh, wait, Mo is not in good internet range this week. And they're going to VendeliaCon this weekend and all that sort of thing. So that'll be a good time for them. I tell you what, VandaliaCon, Getting the Itch, written a few scenes between characters, just talking about crazy stuff. That's how it starts. I start putting down those single sentences, those one paragraphs, those plot ideas, the character arc growth, and then suddenly I'm like, okay, it's time to make this happen. But VandaliaCon this weekend in West Virginia. Oh yeah, so let's do this. Andrea, you know how to do a shout out, so post a link, right?
No, but you can tell me. I just posted a thing. You can. I guess you can click on my name, and it will take you to my channel.
It will.
If you'd like, go follow me, and you'll get notified when I start streaming in June.
There you go. See, and if you
I'm gonna try it out.
Exclamation SO space and then the person's screen name, and it'll put the link to their channel, so people could just, because you know how lazy us peoples are. You know, if you got to click twice, it's too much work. So yeah, and that's anytime we have somebody pop into our stream that we like, that we know is a streamer, we definitely try to give them a shout out whenever we can. Let's
see if that works. It worked! Yay.
And Toei, you're a moderator. Don't hesitate to do a shout out to yourself when you pop on. You have my permission anytime. It's and with all these other folks starting to stream like Dana and Andrea and Mo and everything, I'm waiting for one of us to go ahead and hit partner and then build a team and bring the other people into that team.
Yeah. I like to watch Mo's channel. Mo draws.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just fascinated by it. Because I'm not that patient. It's really good. Dana plays an interesting game I haven't seen before. I like it.
I wonder if any of them are going to be on. Yeah, well, we have to warn Mo about playing the anime because we don't want any copyright issues for Mo and any banning happening. So we have to warn about that. And let's see. It looks like there's a few people.
Yeah, see.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't listen to my music when I do mine.
No, you have to listen to, there is music you can listen to, and I can show you where it is, but it's not going to be your music. It's going to be...
Yeah, I don't know. Because when I'm doing stuff, which I think I'm going to restore my croquet set, I want to listen to my music.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Never.
And there could be... Maybe one day when it's just you and I, we'll do a stream from the back porch. That could be a pretty backdrop with the trees and the copyright-free Monster Cat Electro during my streams just to have something safe as ambient music. I'd like to know more about that. Like if I just Google Monster Cat Electro, will I find it? Because, yeah, I'd like to have, especially when it's just me, like the other day when I did Saturday morning coffee at 5:30 in the morning, it'd be nice to have something just behind me. So when I pause, it's not just dead air. It's got something going on. I'm also thinking about doing another show during the week, which I'm going to let Andrea get settled in before I work on this so we don't cross schedules. Twitch's Monster Cat channel. Okay. It's I'm thinking about doing a writer show once a week or once a month. We'll see. But there we would get together, do the intro, and then take turns reading from our own books while the others listen and interact on the channel by typing. And then the third hour would actually be a writer's workshop where we pick a topic, anywhere from how to do a mailing list to how to set up your Twitch stream to Oxford comma. What's the matter, Andrea?
I don't know how... Well, I can't post a picture. Speaking of writing, we need writers. Well, let me find it so I can read off. Because I made a thing for it. Hold on.
Here, I'll do this real quick. While Andrea's looking for that, let me grab... Where is Thumpkin?
Here I am.
Oh, you know what? I saved it to my phone. Hold on a second. Let me grab that and save it real quick to my desktop, and I'll put it up, and you could talk about it. I'll just put it up across the whole screen there. Okay? So one moment while I go grab.
I found it.
But you can't put it up. But yeah, I've got it right here. Just pulled it down.
I can change my profile picture to it.
We're going to take this right over here for the moment and make it the big one. And there we go. Folks can...
Are you ready?
Yeah, it's up on...
Okay. We are looking for audio drama submissions. 1 scene, 4 characters. There's 5 of us, but 1 will narrate. We need a pub or bar atmosphere. Just one scene. We're going to pick 3. All submissions are due by June 30th. We'll read it on air. We'll give you props, all that good stuff. It'll be live on Twitch sometime in, I think, August. July, August. So, yeah, send your submissions to talkofthetavern@gmail.com.
There you go. I just got it sized right. It's blocking you.
Oh. We need to put that in the rotation at some point.
I can do that. It's
I've got a couple of people saying that they're writing, and hopefully they'll actually submit it. We'll see.
There you go. I pulled it down.
Pick our favorites. I'm very excited for it.
I know you are, which is always great. It's so let's see here. Let me do this, and I'm going to go ahead and put it into the rotation right now.
Yay.
So bear with me. Chit chat while I'm distracted.
Oh.
Talk.
I have these. I need more. I only have 2. I think I gave my other ones away.
Which we tend to do with these things because they're fun for everybody.
Yeah, I need to get some for Feline and Strange and Ben Henderson and his wife, because they all seemed excited about them. As soon as I find some more, I'll mail them out.
There we go. I'm about to fix that up and get that set up for you here.
I don't know if Kim's watching, but hi, Kim. Hi.
Hi, Kim.
She usually watches on YouTube, so hi.
There we go.
So tomorrow we have tomorrow there's going to be a monster at the end of the book.
There is.
At the beginning of the show.
Very true.
Sean Durrington. He draws monsters and they're adorable. Oh my gosh.
There we go. Now we've got that in. Okay, let me go ahead and save that and click back. And you know what? I think I will just upload it right here and bring it in right here once I can find it. It's amazing. I clean off my desktop like every other day or every third day, and by the time I'm done, there's like, half my screen full of icons.
I'm looking on Twitch. My background is awesome.
We told you so.
Well, I changed it. It's not purple behind it. The skulls now it's white, so you can see it more.
There we go. It's
Kato gave me that. It's skull lace. It's awesome.
Give me a second. I've got to reset the Twitch slides. There we go.
Oh.
Now it's in rotation.
Yay.
There we go. It's
I noticed something.
What's that?
You need, because for when people subscribe, they get Talk of the Tavern emoji.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other one, you get extra ones.
Right.
You need to make them a little different. Can you do them like one in white?
Yeah, I do have to. That was the initial, just get it up there, get it done. And no, I definitely need to go ahead and... Hi, Giraffe, are you back? I need to differ it up, and also once we hit partner, we get more. And I think, Toei, you might know the answer to this. I know you have your tractor icon, but do you have to pay to get like? Because I know I've seen some people with like 3 different ones or more than that even, and I'm curious. Is that the thing where you have to pay to get those extra icons? Because I'm not to that place yet.
I'm looking at the thing where I can throw the emotes, and it says channel, and then you have all on channel. It says unlock 1 sub emote. So if you subscribe for $4.99 or the Twitch Prime, you get that, and then the other one is the higher tiers, and you get more icons also.
Well, I feel like what I need is to talk to the tavern for the lowest, and then after that, maybe as a drink or a glass or something.
A mustache. And a pipe.
A pipe or a pint? Because, what we could do is just take that pint glass straight off of our logo and make a individual thing so people could throw that. Just put that pint glass straight in the middle of the logo and people could throw that. And then a big handlebar mustache. So,
yeah.
Okay.
So then you have different ones.
I'm writing it down. One more thing on the to-do list.
Well, I subscribed to Madame Gandalf, and she made her goal, and she did her 24-hour stream, which is awesome. And I have this really cool dwarf.
Yeah.
And I can even throw it here. I could throw it on other channels. So I have that this month.
Trying to remember what all I have for the fancy fun other people's.
I need a new chair.
You and me both, huh?
This is not very comfortable.
There's a reason I put a body pillow under me now. Yeah, there we go.
If I do that, I won't fit on the chair. I need something with a higher back, because this one is just broken. It's really sad. I accept donations.
Of chairs.
Oh. So he says, no, as an affiliate, you get 3 emotes, 1 for each sub-level.
Right. Which I have yet to have anybody subscribe on anything more than the $5 level.
That's underwears.
Oh, nice. And I've subscribed to Gandalf before, so once you're no longer a subscriber, you no longer have access to their icon.
Yeah.
So
that's why I have it just for the month.
Oh. So let's see here. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to go over the rest of the shows coming up for the next week or so. Let me do that now while we've still got some time left here. Okay, tomorrow, as Andrea mentioned, Sean Durrington, who draws adorable little monsters, as well as some really awesome other art like Ravenloft Disney level art. Thursday, Fairy Culture with Karen Kay, editor of Fae Magazine, and Tara Moeller, editor of an upcoming fairy anthology. And then Monday, the cringeworthy topic of consent culture versus call-out culture, towing the line. And next Tuesday, we should have Dale Rolls of BB Black Dog, which I have to get together with him ahead of time and tech his stuff, because last time he couldn't come on because of technical
Because we couldn't hear him.
Yeah, he didn't have a headset or a microphone, but we saw him. You just have him sit there and pantomime the whole show.
That's kind of what I do.
Me too.
And then, we have some interesting guests.
We do.
Next week.
I am. Do you want me to talk about them too?
Yeah. Well, it's Scufflemoss.
Scufflemoss. Yes, Scufflemoss the troll is on Wednesday. And then I don't remember Thursdays. That's right.
Victor and the Bully.
Victor and the Bully is next week. That's right. They're fun.
You can't forget them.
No.
Now, Scufflemoss is new to me. I just recently learned who that is. So this is going to be fun.
It is. And I have to check with Scufflemoss and see how long, if Scufflemoss can go the full 2 hours. Because I don't know how troll stamina is when it comes to live broadcasts.
And how's the reception under bridges? Is he under the bridge?
No, he has keepers. He stays in their house and they give him cookies.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have to give them cookies? I can make some.
Oh, we're on the internet. Everybody gets cookies on the internet.
Yay! Those aren't the good cookies.
Those are the kind of cookies that make trolls come live in your house via the internet.
We've had a few of those, which, it sounds bad, but that is so awesome. We are big enough to have trolls, other than Bob.
Hmm.
We like Bob.
We like trolls, too, because out of the 3 trolls I had this past weekend, 2 of them ended up subscribing to the channel and coming back. And the third one just ran away.
And I think it was one of them came to join the show last night. They were in the audience.
Correct. I bit a bum. Yeah, I bit a bum, called me the Monopoly guy. Then there's Lord Lazarus out of the UK, and he called me the KFC guy and asked for the recipe, which I could then give him.
I want some chicken.
Yeah. And the last one was, I don't even remember the person's name, but they made a pubic joke and then ran away when I responded.
And then Kevin got on him about that. That's funny.
Yeah, we don't have a problem with hecklers, because they end up being a great part of the show and joining us again.
Or they get offended and run away.
That's right. That's right. It's we're all about being trolled, and because fun is fun, and if they're witty.
I'm looking forward to the fairy show. I think I'm going to dress up for it. I have fairy wings behind the curtain.
So Toei says, one time a troll made an account called I Hate Talking Toei to pester me. That is dedication. That is a true fan, even if they're hating on you. To go through that much trouble.
Yeah.
You have influenced their life, that's for sure.
Well, like with Howard Stern, when he first came big on the scene, researchers said fans listen an hour or two a day, where the people that don't like him listen 4 or 5. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, Talk of the Tavern, when I first came out with it, was slightly influenced by Howard Stern, in the sense that I wanted a conversation that lasted hours. Only in that sense.
Your hair's not as cool, though.
No, but then again, I'm not as worried about it as he is about his hair. Then ban-hammered them and got Twitch to kill their account. Yeah, it's... Toei, I don't blame you. Kennedy, that's why I listen to you guys. Wait, which part? Is it my hair? It's my hair.
It's the hate.
It's the hate. It's absolutely. Kennedy.
Hate on there.
Yeah, it's one thing if somebody's having a good time and playing nicely with you, with whatever your format
is. It's another if they're being an asshole.
Which is what I told
Don't be a dick, people. Don't be a dick.
I'm like, there's a line, and you can play with that line, but once you cross it, we're done.
We're going to toe the line Monday.
We are. The only person I've ever banned, they created 3 separate IDs, and they came on in a row, and I think all they said was hi, and I banned them because their name was KKK Naga Jew, because I don't think they could use the real slang. But yeah, the bottom line is I just saw them pop on, and they said like hello or whatever they said. I'm like, nope, done.
Goodbye.
And then they came on with the same name with the number 2 after it, and I banned that, and they came back with the same name with the number 3 after it, and yeah, it's that kind of stuff I won't put up with. I'll put up with them making fun of me, absolutely, but no, not the real hate. It's
we ain't got time for that shit. Too old for it.
Mm-hmm. Take it somewhere else. I recently had a YouTube video. Matter of fact, the YouTube video I put up about the local paper printing the application to the KKK. And somebody who I upset on the show left a big, long, huge comment on that one, basically bad-mouthing me. And I left it. I've banned racist, sexist name trolls too, but even after 2 years, I've only had to ban about a dozen jerks. Yeah, it's Doesn't happen too much, but yeah, just for the name, I'll remove you. If you have a hater name, I'm not letting you stick around. That's the bottom line. It's and Toey, you've heard Bob well enough. That is racist and sexist humor, but he's playing along with us to make the joke.
And he doesn't take it too far.
No, and if he does, if we go, hey, back it down, he absolutely does. And matter of fact, right now, he's our top cheerer this month.
Yes.
Navy Dad. So, yeah, and he just had a birthday, too.
Yeah, and he was not here for us to say it yesterday.
But Ed said it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, good times. It's so easy to have fun. Why bother with the rest of it? It's not productive to... Stretchy.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Toey, I was telling you about the possible writer stream. It would be an evening stream. And, yeah, I'd be willing to bring different people on. So I mentioned it to you in case you're interested at all. I don't know when it'll happen. It's still an idea in formation, and it may not happen. It all depends on scheduling and time because, well, there's only so much time I can sit on my computer on camera, which is a lot more than what I do now, but it doesn't mean I want to. I do like doing other things like editing and writing my books. Oh, thank you, Toey.
Thank you, Toey.
Appreciate that. We'll return the kindness. Because the beauty part is I do go watch the videos, I do get the bits, and I don't have anybody to throw them at because I can't throw them at my own show. So it's always good when I have folks who I can go and throw bits at.
He'll throw them at you, he'll throw them at me, he'll throw them at Mo.
I throw them at a few others. Courtroom, Madame Gandalf, and a handful of others.
I throw my bits to them too.
Yeah, just because, I do like them. And Madame Gandalf, she's getting big. Her channel's getting big, I should say. Yeah. And finally got bits today. Couldn't watch any ads for about 2 weeks for some reason. Clear your cookies? Oh, I don't know. Kevin has that same issue.
It's just because he's in the UK. I think,
So, maybe one day we'll have to get him to pay for bits when they have like that Twitch thing going on or whatever, and see if he can't, get cheap bits so he could throw them at 10 at a time or whatever.
Well, we'll see if we can get people. Hey, you want him to throw bits? Send him some money.
Can you gift bits?
That's what I was going to say. I don't know.
No, you can gift a sub, but you can't gift bits.
Oh, weird. Whatever. It's all good. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I remember when we mentioned to Mo that, we, like the ad is still up specifically for Mo because of their project. And Mo's like, oh, I'm like, and we do this for people we like who contributed. And Mo's like, I don't feel like I contribute very much. And I'm like, no, you listen to the stream, you interact, you come on as a guest, you talk about the show to other people, you absolutely give back. And that's the same for like, Toey and others, which is why Toey will get the subscription before Madame Gandalf. But Madame Gandalf, Alex, she is so great with her audience and her interaction.
She is.
That's the joy of broadcasting solo, because when you come in and you subscribe or you host, she will actually play like a cut of a video, which is great. Andrea, have you seen this video? So it's Frodo and Gandalf when they meet after Frodo is recovering in the Elven City, and he's like cross-eyed, and he's all like, and Gandalf is cross-eyed and going, and it looks like they're orgasming with crossed eyes, and yeah, then it shows him like dancing in a circle, and then it's just a hilarious little video, and she'll play it for hosting or a bit throw depending what it is, etc., and she puts the stars on her face and changes the color of her background or whatever, and
she's fun.
She is. I have no interest in the game she's playing. I actually I'll watch her channel just for the personality. Yeah. Unlike the dancing mermaid cosplayer. who she was originally dressed as Mary Jane in like cut off booty shorts and a Spider-Man t-shirt, and she danced a little to music, and then she came back and showed us like the 2 iPhones she got from people, from fans. Then she put on the mermaid.
Hey, good for her.
Well, yeah,
God,
absolutely.
that's just awesome.
I know. I don't think I could.
I would like to be up to that, but I'm realistic. I'll just be lucky if I can figure out how to stream.
See, this is why I feel the middle age thing is so important, because our generation made the technology. Now the younger generations are definitely adding to it, building on it. My sub-video is an old black and white movie of a bucking mule with the racetrack. Call to the lion horn. All my alerts are vintage old movie. That's cool. I haven't seen any of them.
You didn't see it when you subscribed because...
Right. Well, she's not broadcasting.
On.
I want to stalk her just so I can see these silly videos.
Yeah. Oh.
Maybe I need to make a video of just different people cheering. Maybe I could pull it from, like the refill break videos and stuff like that. And
yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
So this weekend is Memorial Day weekend, right?
Yes.
What's everybody doing? What are you doing? Do you want to do something?
I don't know. I hadn't considered anything. Maybe go pick up more of the fallen trees in the yard and pile them up. That's the kind of stuff on my to-do list. Are they calling for rain today, by the way? I gotta check the weather. See.
I don't know. It rained this morning. See, I thought I would have to work this weekend. I do not. So, yeah, yard work if you're not. Yeah, it's OES too. Maybe. We need a chainsaw. We need a chainsaw.
We do. Desperately. Or 2, and then an extra body to use the second one. It's, Okay, it looks like we have a severe thunderstorm watch from an hour ago until 9 p.m.
And Toy says there's a thunderstorm warning in their county right now, too.
Well, I know Toey's not terribly far away. So, and I'm checking the 10-day forecast to see what kind of weather we got this weekend. Partly cloudy, 20% chance of rain pretty much the whole weekend. Highs in the mid to high 80s. Oof. Thunderstorms Monday. So there's that. Looks like I can go out and, with a bottle of water, drag some tree stuff around. So.
You're going to put the bottle of water to work?
I will. I'll tell you what, yesterday I went out because I hadn't had a chance to do a lot in the yard with the rain and everything, and I got up on the roof and cleaned the gutters again after that big storm that canceled last week's Monday night show. And I didn't eat breakfast, which normally I do eat and drink a bunch of water before I go out, and I figured I wouldn't be out there long and do a whole lot. Oh, Andrew, you see that? Toei does garage sales.
I know, I love those. Can't do that right now.
No, but maybe maybe we could do garage sale buddy system down the road. But yeah, I went out there and I dragged a few branches around and went, okay, that's enough of that because I'm going to whip myself with having not eaten breakfast. And then I got the ladder and went on the roof where, of course, it's 10 degrees hotter when you're standing on a slate roof there. So, yeah, by the time I got done and got out the leaf blower to do the front and the back porch where a lot of the storm stuff had hit, yeah, I had to turn it off and sit down for 10 minutes because I just didn't do the proper prep. So if I go out there and do yard work this weekend, I'll definitely have to make sure I prep myself properly.
I told you to eat and hadn't chased you down with sunscreen.
Me running through the yard with one branch in my hand. No!
He's so white, he'll burst into flames.
Especially when I dance.
Yeah, we definitely need a chainsaw to move the one big half a tree that's fallen.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, today when I get off the show, probably grab a bite to eat, because I had a burger this morning. I'll probably make another burger just to burn through those burgers. Hopefully not.
Yeah, I'm probably going to make spaghetti with them.
Yeah, well, the 3 remaining burgers, definitely, that's a good idea. And there is a couple onions left in the fridge, so we could dice up in there and all that good stuff. If you want, I'll make spaghetti sauce, because we have those cans of crushed tomatoes. Okay, fine, just get the jar.
What part of I'll make spaghetti?
I don't know. I'm just trying to help. In that case, I'll stay in here and I'll work. I have to make Google Docs for all the shows and organize my folders on my computer. And then I have to do the other stuff, potentially work on that Kickstarter. If I'm going to do it, I need to do it real soon. And then edit one of the books for that Kickstarter. You know, Andrew, I was thinking about the Kickstarter shorts for the 2 anthologies, but maybe I should put My Puppy is a Werewolf up there also.
Yeah, because you still need art for it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have an artist, correct?
I have one on the line, and she actually sent me prices this morning, and I haven't responded. But yeah, I should definitely try to.
How much is that Zazzle in the window?
That Zazzle over there? I don't know. She looks pretty angry. You might have to pay me a lot to take her off my hands. It's now you folks viewing. You can't see Zazzle back there, but let's see if I can do this. We'll just pivot this a little bit. There she is. She's the white bleach spot in the window. She's a white cat, so it's hard to see her there. There we go. We'll bring that back down a little bit. Oh, so yeah, it's definitely things to be busy with. And tomorrow I have Sean. I'm going to ding Sean tonight and talk to him for a few minutes. Make sure he's ready for tomorrow. So yeah.
What is that show we watched yesterday? Day before?
Supernatural?
No, the other one. Dexter, who's British.
Oh, The Last? Safe.
Yeah, I want to finish watching that.
Yeah,
that's my goal. There's like 2 episodes left. It's on Netflix. It's alright.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. It's
I have small goals.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, maybe I'll add that My Werewolf is a Puppy to it, and see if I can't cover the costs.
When do you want to start your Kickstarter?
Oh, like last Saturday.
Okay.
I just have such a hard time asking other people for money. It's a block I have. Sean's another one I should talk to. Wonder how much he charged per picture. It's but it's Jenny Bjorkland that I'm talking to, and it sounds like she's pretty reasonably priced. And you know, I do love her chibi art. So.
Did you get samples? Did you get a sample?
Well, my profile picture on Facebook.
Well, I mean, of the characters that you want.
Mm-mm.
Don't you normally do that with artists?
Yeah, normally I do. It's make sure they can do what I'm looking to have done. It's but yeah, I do have. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Why not? Why not? It's
just to make sure.
No, not the samples. I'm thinking.
Oh.
If with My Puppy is a Werewolf.
Giraffe.
It is. Set up the Kickstarter to cover the art for that also, and then possibly the next book after that. Talk to Sean and see what he charges and all that, and maybe set up the 2 kids' books at once, so it'd actually be a Kickstarter for 4 books.
Well, you could talk to him tomorrow.
And with that Kickstarter, it would still be, I'd still be asking for less than most people ask for 1 book. I won't be looking for $6,000 or $7,000. It'll be $500 to $1,000, depending on the artwork prices. So, we'll see. I should be able to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And hey to everybody just joining us in our last few minutes. Good to see you popping in. Feel free to scream hello and run out the door. Continuing.
Hey, who are we gonna raid though?
I've got that pulled up, and I'm not wanting to actually check until they hit like 5 minutes till, because apparently most people we know quit streaming the same time as us, coincidentally. So with that in mind, I mean, right now we're looking at Courtroom or Brownie Bear. So.
Okay.
And I tend to go for the one with lesser numbers, which is Brownie Bear, but I know Courtroom. So, via Twitch and chit-chatting on each of the streams. It's, so who knows? Squeeze the giraffe head. Squeeze the giraffe head. He's making faces.
Big bottom giraffes make the world go round.
Yep. And for those of you that did just join us, we had our guests on earlier. We were a 3-hour show, so our first 2 hours had our guest, Nightwatch Paradox, an awesome steampunk band that does a steampunk rock opera that will be releasing on CD in just the next week or two. And the last hour is us doing this, basically chilling out, talking to the audience.
And tomorrow we have another guest. Check us out.
Sean Durrington.
For middle-aged geekery.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, actually, I want to go back to the middle-aged geekery because, again, I want to stress how important it is that we grew up geeky. We grew up in the era where you got made fun of or beat up for being geeky, and now geek is hip.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, faux shizzle. And we're middle-aged now. And soon we're going to be heading into our senior years, looking for steampunk authors. I know some who write punk anthologies. Kennedy, contact me privately for that, because it's quite possible that I'd be happy to bring them in. It's I have quite an extensive list. I might have had some of them on, like I know when you said you watched the refill break, and you're like, I knew some of those. I've worked with a lot of steampunk authors in the past 5 years. Heck, 5.5 now, almost.
Now, are you talking about having them as guests or for the book? Because the books are ones he's written.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Because I think you actually mentioned them when I was pushing the Patreon to put these books out and whatnot. Guests. It's possible. Definitely possible. I always like to have a backlist. I try not to schedule too far ahead of time. When I had Monday only as a show, scheduling 3 months ahead of time was one thing. Now that I have 4 shows a week, scheduling 3 months ahead of time, it gets cumbersome. It's a lot. But I still like to have them there so I can go introduce myself when the time is right to schedule the next set of guests. But like right now, we're scheduled every day of the week.
He says he has some of your stuff.
He does. I think he has etheric elements and possibly steampunk for simpletons. It's if you like epic fantasy, a bit dark, check out The Downfall, Book 1 Harbinger. It's a bit darker, a bit heavier, full-length novel as opposed to the other stuff where I did mostly anthologies. And the 2 anthologies I have that I'm looking to put out here in the next few weeks or a month or so. One is another steampunk short story cycle, Trio of Travelers, and the other one is a slightly dystopian, somewhere in the near future, dark street level, nitty gritty superheroes. So very much Daredevil street level as opposed to, we're not talking about Superman and Thor. And they're dealing with this. There you go, there's the Nightwatch stuff.
Yeah, that's all the ways to check them out, stalk them, let them know about places they can play, and such.
So yeah, I guess I'm once again scheduling in my head. Yeah, I think doing the Kickstarter is the thing to do, and after I contact Sean and verify everything for tomorrow, I think I'll just phone him up and do it that way. It's quicker and easier than Facebook messaging.
A lot of times, yeah.
I'm a phone guy amongst this generation that dodges a phone call every chance they get. But I like Sean, and he recently ran a Kickstarter for his book, and yeah. So let's see here. Got 9 minutes left. Oh, what can we talk about?
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about the copyright thing again, especially with the music. Tunesday is in danger.
Yeah.
Because I've recently looked into Twitch's copyright stuff, and they're just muting out the songs that can't be replayed. But with a lot of these smaller bands, when I have them on, I want to play their music, and I feel that's pretty safe considering they're there, and they gave it to me.
Hopefully it is.
Well, if not,
that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why there's no music right now,
Mm-hmm.
because they're not on. So.
Right. It's it's. I'm gonna have to, I guess, start sending out letters to the different bands and going, just sign this. Print it out, fill out the information about your. Oh. Can you get to the floor? Sorry.
What happened?
Cat emergency. Zazzle isn't feeling well, and Giraffe, leave her alone. Oh, you don't want to eat that.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't. Come on back here.
Weird.
No, it's the wrong kind. It's a hairball instead of, the good stuff.
You know who we need on here? Speaking of cats and music. The girl who did that song, I Have 6 Cats.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
That is great.
Do you want to tell them about who we just booked?
Brad Williams. He's a comedian. He's awesome. I'm very excited. He does podcasts also.
He does. Yeah, funny guy, clever, and definitely driven in his career direction, so we're going to be thrilled to have him on. We're going to start advertising that soon, too.
Yes, because that'll be today. I got to make up the banner. I'm very excited because we haven't had, comedians on the show since I've been here anyway.
I don't think we ever have. I mean, we've had funny people, that's for sure.
Yeah, but not professional funny.
That's right, amateur funny. My God.
So I'm kind of excited for that. Like, really excited.
Yeah, you can check out his stuff on Pandora, or, of course, find him online, and funny stuff. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, the podcasts are great. The comedy stuff on Pandora is awesome. So, yeah, very excited.
Definitely. And, last night's show was fun. We had the Charming Underclothes folks on. It'll be up on YouTube at 11 o'clock tonight. It has to be 24 hours after the end of the broadcast for Twitch rules. So,
and Kevin was late.
Kevin was late
because there was a fire.
Yeah. In the restaurant he works in the pub he works in, apparently one of the professional chefs, meanders out of the kitchen and calmly says, "There's a fire in the kitchen," as opposed to doing what needed to be done. So, good times. And good for
Kevin
pros.
saved the day and was late. So, day jobs.
Busy, yeah. Doing what he gets paid to do instead of coming on the show. So it looks like we still...
What?
What about the bellhead? You remember the bellhead thing? Yes, I remember the bellhead thing. It was something he called the other chef a bellhead, and
see, I don't pay attention to him. See, me too, Kennedy. I'm like, why didn't you do a video? We're getting toasted for Talk at the Tavern with the fire, but he's professional. He went to put the fire out first,
There you go, tree. Yep, footage of the fire, trees crashing through houses. Welcome to Talk of the Tavern and the excitement that is us. It's, It was Bell End? Was it Bell End? Yeah, it was Bell End, wasn't it? Yes, it was. That's correct, and basically it means the head of a penis. But they make good stories.
Oh, I forgot about that.
They make good stories, whether it's for the show or whether it's for the rest of our life. It's just, of course, now I've got to get a chainsaw and then spend time in the summer heat chopping up a tree. Yes, Bell End. Bell End. Yeah, it does. And it's a bulbous knob at the end of a turgid penis. Or a flaccid one. Oh, and I guess, if you imagine the clapper inside of a bell.
Clap on. Oh, wrong
Ding
clapper.
dong, ding dong, ding dong.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, so it all comes together. So we've just got about 2 minutes left. Once again, thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate it. Good to see you, Kennedy and Toei. And we will be seeing probably, Kennedy possibly tomorrow, 1 o'clock if you're available, bud. And then Toei will be broadcasting. Now, Toei, does your broadcast end at 4 the same as ours?
I think it does.
I'm pretty sure.
I think that's what she said before. That's why we can't rate her.
Just checking to see if it changed. And I'm refreshing our follow thing. Okay, I think courtroom it is.
Okay.
See, they're playing with viewers' song request. So that's what Brownie Bear is doing. So, and I see a YouTube screen up behind them. So I guess they're just playing stuff off YouTube.
Is it their stuff?
I'm confused by what we're allowed to play and not. No, I don't think it is. It's, end of 4.
Yeah, I need to figure this out.
So let's set up the raid. So yeah, we have to figure this out so we know what we're allowed to play and what we're not allowed to play.
Well, we're happy that you listen, Kennedy. Headphones and all.
Mm-hmm. Especially when fishing, so you don't scare the fish. It's So you guys have a great day. We will catch you again, hopefully tomorrow or Thursday. You're our favorites because you hang out and talk. There we go. Absolutely. It's and we're going to go, I guess, do our other jobs here in the house. Get some other work done. So, any closing thoughts here, Andrew? Oh, closing toast. Oh. Here's the music that
follow
tells
my
us
channel.
Follow Andrew's channel.
And music that tells stories. Here.
I'm good with the channel thing. Okay, let's do some outro music here. Here we go. We got this here. Thanks for joining us in the discussion shenanigans tonight. You are the one thing that makes the show what it is. Don't forget to join us at the tavern next week. Until then, have fun, keep learning, and be good to one another. Now, raise your glass in good cheer. Enjoy the small moments every day and steamy dreams every night.